RK University's philosophy is to educate through discovery. We shape thinkers and self-learners, making knowledge an exciting journey by opening new doors and steering into new horizons. Our students are a generation of tomorrow, a timeless tribe of change makers. RK University is the only state private university accredited by NAC, UGC in Western Gujarat region and ranked 4th across the nation in Swachh Campus Ranking 2018 by MHRD, Government of India. With a beautiful 100+ acres pollution-free and green campus with modern infrastructure, RKU is a great place to learn and grow. At RKU, learners are the nucleus surrounded by a circle of learning, nurtured by hands of knowledge. By giving them a global exposure, we allow understanding to seep through project-based learning. They get their hands dirty, assess real situations, unfold new theories in our labs, and find holistic answers to every hurdle that comes their way. RKU is among top-ranked universities of India by CII for research productivity. RKU has MOUs with companies like Cisco, Infosys, Oracle, Wadhwani Foundation, Red Hat, etc. and international academic collaborations with more than 20 universities across the globe. Apply now for 50+ programs in engineering, health sciences, management and science at RKU.
A very good morning to one and all present here. On behalf of Ayurvedic College and Hospital, RK University, Rajkot, I, Dr. Niketa Suni, Assistant Professor in the Department of Kriya Shari at RK University and host of today's event, take immense pleasure in welcoming you all to this national webinar organized on the occasion of World Patient Safety Day 2025. Today, we are gathered to reflect on this webinar's theme by bringing together Ayurveda and modern principles, which are important in patient safety in clinical practice as well as in teaching, with insightful session by distinguished experts. Before we begin, it is my privilege to invite and present the welcome address by our respected director, Dr. Manoj Pandey sir, whose constant encouragement and visionary guidance have been the driving force behind such academic endeavors. Welcome, Manoj Pandey sir. Over to you, sir.
आरके यूनिवर्सिटी आयुर्वेदिक कॉलेज एंड हॉस्पिटल राजकोट गुजरात से सभी पार्टिसिपेंट्स का यहाँ पे स्वागत करता हूँ. And firstly, I would like to congratulate organizer Dr. Bhavin Dubbal and Dr. Niketa Soni for organizing such an important webinar on the topic patient safety. And we got more than 600 registrations, and I think itself defines the importance of the topic. आज के जो स्पीकर है डॉक्टर अनिकेत सिलवन सर एंड डॉक्टर नागेश कामत सर, वो अपने फील्ड में एक्सपर्ट्स है एंड उनका जो वर्क है हम सालों से देखते आ रहे हैं. तो मुझे लगता है कि at the end of the session, each and every participant will get something new which can be implemented and used in our daily teaching and practice also. First topic is bioethics and Ayurveda. Ethics and bioethics already well defined and described in Ayurveda. For example, Maitri Karunyam Arteshu Shakya Priti Upekshanam Prakurtishteshu Bhuteshu वैद्य वृत्ति चतुर्विधि. तो जिस तरह से आचार्य चरक ने वैद्य की वृत्ति किस तरह से होनी चाहिए, यहाँ से लेके प्राणाभिसर, रोगाभिसर एंड सदवृत्त के बारे में जो डिटेल डिस्क्रिप्शन दिया है, वो कहीं ना कहीं हमें इथिकल एस्पेक्ट के बारे में डिफाइन करता है. हमें सिर्फ देखना होगा कि जो इथिकल एस्पेक्ट्स है वो कंटेम्पररी साइंस में किस तरह से दिया है एंड किस तरह से हमें मॉडिफाई करके वो डे टू डे लाइफ में इंप्लीमेंट करना होगा. एंड आई थिंक डॉक्टर अनिकेत सिलवन सर का लेक्चर उसी के बारे में हमें अच्छे से आज गाइड कर पाएगा. टाइमलेस आयुर्वेद का जो विजडम है एंड मॉडर्न एथिकल फ्रेमवर्क है वो किस तरह से कनेक्ट हो सकता है वो इस लेक्चर से शायद आज हमें पता चलेगा। सेकंड जो सेशन है डॉक्टर नागेश सर का, एस्टेब्लिशमेंट एंड इफेक्टिव यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ स्किल लैब। हम सभी जानते हैं कि काउंसिल ने ड्रास्टिक चेंज किया है करिकुलम में, एलएच एक्टिविटी, एनएलएच एक्टिविटी, एंड अल्टीमेट एम ये है जो हमारे स्टूडेंट्स है उनको कहीं ना कहीं दृष्टकर्मी यानी प्रैक्टिकल नॉलेज होना चाहिए, प्रैक्टिकली ओरिएंटेड उनको किस तरह से बनाया जा सकता है उसके लिए मैक्सिमम कोशिश की गई है। एंड आई थिंक उसके लिए सबसे जो इम्पोर्टेंट टूल रहेंगे हमारे पास वो स्किल लैब है, साइमुलेशन लैब है एंड एआई का टूल है। आई थिंक फ्यूचर विल बी dependent on these tools only. And for establishing the skill lab, I think Ayurveda already mentioned that our Vaidya should be Tirthartha Shastrartho and Drushtakarma. And for Drushtakarma, practical knowledge skill lab is equally important. Skill lab will serve to bridge the gap between classroom teaching and real world practical experiences. कहीं ना कहीं हम देखते हैं कि थियोरेटिकल नॉलेज स्टूडेंट्स को है, लेकिन जिस समय उनको वो प्रैक्टिकली इम्प्लीमेंट करना है, सीखना है, हर बार हमारे पास पेशेंट्स या बाकी अपॉर्चुनिटीज होगी ऐसा जरूरी नहीं। तो जो टूल हम डेवलप कर सकते हैं एंड उसका प्रॉपरली यूज कर सकते हैं वो स्किल लैब रहेगा। We have to create a realistic, safe environment where learners, students can practice, make mistakes, reflect, and improve without the risk of harming patients. That is the most important part of the skill lab. Skill lab will be useful to develop critical thinking and decision making. So I think this session is also equally and more important. So lastly, I would like to once again thank you, Dr. Bhavin sir, Bhavin Dubbal sir, and Dr. Nikita Soni for organizing this important webinar on the occasion of Patient Safety Day. And I lastly request all participants to give feedback at the end of the session. So we will come to know where to improve, where to upgrade. Right? Thank you. Thank you, Bhavin.
Now, I would like to introduce the organizing secretary of today's program, Dr. Bhavin Dubbal sir, Associate Professor in the Department of Kriya Sharif, RK University, who has been pillar of support in planning and executing this webinar seamlessly. Moving forward, it's my honor to introduce our eminent speaker for the day, Session 1 expert, Dr. Aniket A. Shilvan sir, MD PhD scholar, professor and head of the Department of Kriya Sharif at G.J. Patel Institute of Ayurvedic Studies and Research, CVM University, Anand, Gujarat. He will be enlightening us on the topic Ayurveda and Bioethics, Bridging Tradition with Contemporary Principles. Session 2 expert, Dr. Nagraj Kamat sir, MD PhD, Associate Professor and Dean, Innovation and Skill Development Unit, SDM College of Ayurvedic and Hospital, Hassan. He will share his expertise on establishment and effective utilization of skill lab. We are truly honored to have such distinguished personalities with us today. With this, let us commence the first session of our webinar with Dr. Aniket sir. Sir has 11 years of teaching and research experience. He is widely recognized for his expertise in Ayurvedic physiology, applied insight in Kriya Sharif, and innovative teaching methodologies. He has authored and co-authored several books, published numerous research articles, and developed the Ayu Prasara app for Prakriti and Dhatusar assessment. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Nikita. Thank you, Dr. Bhavin Dubbal sir. And thank you, Director Dr. Manoj Pandey sir, for inviting me and to deliver my views on this current topic on the eve of 17th September as a Patient Safety Day. So before moving forward, I will share my screen first. Is the screen visible?
Yes, sir.
So, yes, thank you. So at the outset, I had given a topic with reflect to Patient Safety Day, Ayurveda and Bioethics. And currently, coming from Ayurveda background, we need to introspect ourselves where Ayurveda has contributed to the principles of bioethics in today's era. So if we go through syllabus, in the syllabus, it comes under the basic principles of a topic, basic principles of Kriya Sharir, paper 1, part A, point number 2, and where it is clearly mentioned under the course outcome 1 that to recognize the contribution of Ayurveda in the formation of 4 basic principles of bioethics. So moving forward, first let us understand a brief idea about what is ethics, how many types of ethics are there, and what exactly bioethics do mean. When it comes to ethics, it is actually a branch of philosophy where it majorly deals with human rights, or we can call it as moral principles, or in very easy language, how we can distinguish right from the wrong when we deal with our human conduct. So basically, it provides us actually a framework to decide or to evaluate our actions, decisions, human rights, responsibility, and most importantly, moral values. So when it comes to biomedical ethics, those ethical issues we had discussed in the earlier slide, when it is concerned only with the biology specifically or medicine or healthcare, there it comes the term that is biomedical ethics, which deals majorly on human values and concerned with the core area of medical decision making or clinical research and technologies. So it, as we will see in the further slides, it depends mainly on the 4 pillars, which are called as core principles of bioethics. And if we understand this idea, we get to know that biomedical ethics on Ayurveda and the scientific principles, then we have an idea that it acts as a bridge which tries to connect the scientific progress and the societal values, as human being is a cultural animal which lives in a society. So it acts as a bridge in between the scientific progress of humans and the societal values to ensure the dignity and responsibility of an individual. Then types of bioethics, as we move forward, there is one type that is medical ethics, which specifically focuses on the patient-doctor relationship. I had quoted one example over here, each type of bioethics. So when we deal about doctor-patient relationship, our first prime most duty comes there is to respect the confidentiality of a patient, right? Then comes clinical ethics. So clinical based decisions when we move around hospitals and clinics, for example, to withhold the life support, right? In the terminal illness part of a patient, to withhold the life support, to go through that particular critical phase, to come to a decision that undergoes under clinical ethics. Research ethics, as we are all from healthcare background, we are every now and then we are moving into any particular drug trial experiments, right? So we had to face institutional ethical committees also. So ensuring informed consent of our subjects or participants or patient, it comes under the research ethics, right? Then comes public health ethics. When we go through the community health services, right? As like in the previous, we had gone through or survived through the COVID pandemic. So fair allocation of all the vaccines during this pandemic comes under the public health ethics, which shows one of the core principle, that is equity, that is equality on in the allocation and distribution of all the resources. Then environmental ethics. As a human being, it is our responsibility to protect and preserve the nature and ecosystems, right, against the current going deforestation and pollution. So all these types, all are the types of bioethics. Now, when we talk about this term bioethics, it basically deals with 4 basic principles. The first one is autonomy, which indicates assure independence, right? The choice of freedom of any particular individual living in a society. Then non-maleficence, the prime most duty of any particular person, especially we physicians, is do not cause any harm, right? And the third one, beneficence, do always good, right? हितकारी, कल्याणकारी कर्म करना, ये हमारी सबसे पहली ड्यूटी रहेगी. Then justice, the fairness and equality, what I had talked in the earlier slide of distribution of distribution of vaccines in COVID pandemic. So justice, fairness and equality. So we will go in detail with each and every principle in the later slides. Then patient autonomy, right? So autonomy is the first, what we can call as a principle of bioethics, which basically which shows us that it is completely dependent on the self-determination of the patient. Because when we grow as an individual, we are all having our own choices, our own unique body constitutional makeup that comes. आयुर्वेदा का कंट्रीब्यूशन यहाँ पे किस तरह से देखा जाएगा, तो एज एवरी दोष इज यूनिक, उसी तरह से प्रकृति भी यूनिक है. सो पर्सनलाइज्ड मेडिसिन आगे हम देखने वाले हैं. जैसा एक P4 मेडिसिन की एक ब्रांच अभी उसका उगम चल रहा है, इवन दो इट इज इमर्जिंग सिंस 2000, बट हाल ही में अभी P4 मेडिसिन का बहुत ज्यादा प्रसार हो रहा है. तो ये आयुर्वेद में पहले से बताया गया है कि जैसे दोष सबका यूनिक है, उसी तरह से प्रकृति भी सबकी यूनिक है. सो देयर कम्स अ ब्रांच दैट इज कॉल्ड एज पर्सनलाइज्ड मेडिसिन. सो वी नीड टू respect the individual choices, the patient's rights, the patient's decision, उनकी flexibility, affordability, preferences, उनका convenience, ये देखना हमारे लिए ज्यादा important रहेगा, महत्व रहेगा. So यहाँ पे एक बहुत अच्छा contribution किया है आयुर्वेद ने, क्योंकि आज का हमारा जो टॉपिक था कि contribution of Ayurveda in bioethics. So patient autonomy में हम ये देख सकते हैं कि patient has his own desires, preferences, convenience, right, और affordability और flexibility. So involving the patient to make him aware about his illness or current body constitution, right? So इस तरह से देखा जाए तो आगे हम देखने वाले हैं to prevent illness and promote wellness. ये एक मैसेज हमारा क्लियर कट जाएगा समाज को कि पेशेंट की ऑटोनॉमी हमको किस तरह से प्रिजर्व करनी है, राइट? देन सेकंड वन, नॉन मैलेफिसेंस, राइट? इसका सीधा मतलब निकालेंगे तो इसका मतलब निकलता है डू नॉट कॉज एनी हार्म. So protecting the patient wellness, protecting the patient's healthy status is our first duty. इसके साथ साथ हमको ये भी जानना होगा कि अननेसेसरी अग्रेसिव मेडिसिन या डिटॉक्स करने के चक्कर में, पंचकर्म या एक्स्ट्रा अग्रेसिव ट्रीटमेंट्स, राइट, तीक्ष्ण चिकित्सा के चक्कर में कहीं उसके बॉडी को इंजरी या हार्म या उसके जो स्वस्थ अवस्था है वो डिस्टर्ब ना हो जाए. तो हमको उसके लिमिटेशंस के बारे में भी समझना होगा. जब लिमिटेशंस की बात आती है तो मुझे एक अच्छी चीज याद आती है कि प्रकृति में आपने अगर हम लोग जो पढ़ते हैं प्रकृति, वहां पे एक वर्ड आता है सहिष्णुत्व की बात होती है. जैसा हम कई सारे वर्ड्स के अक्रॉस जाते हैं, जैसा क्लेश असहिष्णु है, बराबर, जो पित्त प्रकृति में बताया गया है. देन शीत असहिष्णु है, देन उष्ण असहिष्णु है. तो हर एक व्यक्ति की अपनी जो प्रकृति रहेगी उसके हिसाब से उसकी खुद की मर्यादा है, उसकी लिमिटेशंस है. तो ये हमको जानना जरूरी है ताकि उसके शरीर को किसी प्रकार की ईजा या फिर हार्म ना हो. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज नॉन मैलेफिसेंस, राइट? और हमको हमारी लिमिटेशन भी समझनी होगी कि व्हेन दैट पर्टिकुलर सिचुएशन ऑफ अ पेशेंट is going out of our control and when we need to go for another referral or another doctor's opinion. ये करना क्यों जरूरी है? To minimize the risk and maximize the safety of that patient. So all this comes under one umbrella word, that is non-maleficence, right? एक जहां तक मुझे याद आ रहा है, आज हम 10th आयुर्वेदा डे के सेलिब्रेट कर रहे हैं, विच विल बी होस्टेड ऑन 23rd of September. लेकिन इसी कंटेक्स्ट में आयुर्वेदा डे हमने मेरे ख्याल से 2022 में जो मनाया गया था, तो उसमें एक टैगलाइन अच्छे से कोट की गई थी, वो मैं यहाँ पे दोहराना चाहूंगा. जैसा हम आयु की जब बात करते हैं, राइट, तो हम आयु की जब हम बात करेंगे, हमारे आयुष्य अच्छा होना चाहिए, हमारा आयुष्य कितना हितकारी कल्याणकारी होना चाहिए. तो ये आयु के आपकी लाइफस्टाइल जो दिनचर्या ऋतुचर्या बताई गई है, इसका पालन करने से आयु आपको दीर्घायु में लेके जाएगी. देन अगर आप दीर्घायु हो तो आप सुखायु की तरफ जा रहे हो, एंड दिस सुखायु विल अल्टीमेटली लीड टू योर हितायु. सो ये ऑल जो चीजें आयुर्वेद कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है, मैं समझता हूँ कि एक मेजर कंट्रीब्यूशन है जो आयुर्वेद इतना एंशिएंट साइंस है वहां से कंटेम्पररी ईरा तक चलते आ रहा है. सो दिस इज अ mere contribution of Ayurveda towards the contemporary sciences of bioethics, right? Then the third one is beneficence, do good, है ना? अहिंसा या हितकारी या कल्याणकारी, ये सारी चीजें हमारी सबसे पहली ड्यूटी होगी. ये ऐसा क्यों करना जरूरी है? टू प्रोमोट द पेशेंट्स वेलफेयर, राइट? सो इसके अंडर अगर हम देखेंगे, टू प्रोवाइड टाइमली हेल्थ केयर सर्विसेस, सही टाइम से पेशेंट को उसके प्रायोरिटी के हिसाब से उसको सर्विसेज प्रोवाइड करना, ताकि और ज्यादा नुकसान ना हो, उसका हित हो, उसका कल्याण हो, एंड टू रिपोर्ट टाइमली रिपोर्टिंग ऑफ द सस्पेक्ट केसेस. फॉर दिस वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड द वॉट एवर वी आर डूइंग. एक क्रिया की अच्छी परिभाषा भी शास्त्र में बताई गई है कि हमारी जो चिकित्सा चतुष्पाद बताए गए हैं, जो हम आगे के स्लाइड्स में भी देखने वाले हैं, तो उन सबकी एक ही प्रकार की प्रवृत्ति है कि पेशेंट कितने अच्छे से डिसीज फ्री हो जाए, स्वस्थ अवस्था में कितने लोगों को आपने स्वस्थ अवस्था में कन्वर्ट किया है. सो एक्ट इन द पेशेंट्स बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट. सो दिस इज आवर मोटो टू प्रिवेंट इलनेस एंड प्रोमोट वेलनेस. इसी कंटेक्स्ट में जैसा अभी मनोज सर ने भी कोट किया था, उसी को मैं दोबारा कोट करना चाहूंगा. यहाँ पे आयुर्वेद में तरह तरह के वैद्य का वर्णन किया गया है. उसी कंटेक्स्ट में दो वर्ड्स में यहाँ पे सामने लाना चाहूंगा. एक होते हैं प्राणाभिसर वैद्य, जो लाइफ सेविंग फिजिशियंस कहलाएंगे, राइट. सही समय पे उपयुक्त चिकित्सा करना, उपयुक्त साधनों के साथ करना, उसका जिसकी वजह से पेशेंट डिसीज फ्री हो जाए और स्वस्थ में कन्वर्ट हो जाए, उनको हम प्राणाभिसर वैद्य में करेंगे. और रोगाभिसर विच इनवाइट्स डिसीजेस, राइट. सो दोज हु आर नॉट इनकॉम्पिटेंट, दोज हु आर नॉट प्रोफेशनली गेन्ड एक्सपीरियंस अबाउट दैट, so those come under the रोगाभिसर वैद्य. नेक्स्ट प्रिंसिपल जस्टिस, जिसका हम फेयरनेस एंड इक्वलिटी, जिसको हम समानता, ये शब्द के अंडर जोड़ने की कोशिश करेंगे, समझने की कोशिश करेंगे. जैसा टू बी फेयर व्हाइल डीलिंग विथ एवरी पेशेंट रिलेटिव्स, राइट. To be fair while dealing with patients, relatives, colleagues, and society, to delivering healthcare without any biasness or prejudice, right? So उसके अंदर हमने अभी जैसा एक एग्जांपल मैंने देखा था कि कोविड में हमने देखा है कि कई दफा मेडिसिन वैक्सीन जब इन्वेंट हुई थी, तो एकदम से वो कॉमन पब्लिक में डिस्ट्रीब्यूट नहीं किए गए थे. सो इसीलिए हमको आइसोलेशन, जो स्वस्थ वृत्त में आता है, पृथक्करण, ये भी एक आयुर्वेद के एंगल से कंट्रीब्यूशन है टुवर्ड्स द बायोएथिक्स. तो पृथक्करण किया गया था, आइसोलेशन वार्ड्स बनाए गए थे, पृथक्करण आतुरालय का भी विशेष महत्व है. उसके बाद वैक्सीन धीरे धीरे, आज मैं ऐसे मानता हूं कि हम सभी लोग वैक्सीन ले चुके होंगे, या फिर हम सभी को वो वैक्सीन मिली है. सो इट इज इक्विटेबल डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ द रिसोर्सेस एंड केयर. इट कम्स विद द जस्टिस. इसी कंटेक्स्ट में आज का जो हम आयुर्वेदा डे के सेलिब्रेशंस मना रहे हैं, द 10th आयुर्वेदा डे, उसकी एक अच्छी सी टैगलाइन कोट करना चाहूंगा, विच इज आयुर्वेदा फॉर पीपल एंड प्लैनेट. जो आयुर्वेद है वो किसी एक स्पेसिफिक कम्युनिटी या किसी जाति प्रजाति के लिए विशेष करके प्रदान किया गया नहीं है. जब ये विकसित हुआ है, तो धीरे धीरे हम उसी जर्नी में कंट्रीब्यूट करते जा रहे हैं. नाउ द आयुर्वेद इज अवेलेबल फॉर एवरी पीपल एंड ऑन द प्लैनेट. सो एक धारणा हम सभी लोगों की ये भी है कि वसुदेव कुटुंबकम. तो इसी कंटेक्स्ट में हम ये जस्टिस, फेयरनेस एंड इक्वलिटी, ये बायोएथिक्स का प्रिंसिपल हम समझ सकते हैं. जैसा मैंने अभी थोड़ी देर पहले बात की थी, P4 मेडिसिन का एक उदय आया है. ये जनरली ये जो कोट वर्ड है, ये डॉक्टर हुड इन्होंने विकसित किया था इन द ईयर 2000. और इसमें 4 वर्ड्स आते हैं, दैट इज प्रेडिक्टिव, प्रिवेंटिव, पर्सनलाइज्ड एंड पार्टिसिपेटरी, राइट. जैसा प्रेडिक्शन ऑफ एनी डिसीज डेवलपमेंट, ये हमको कैसे मिलेगा? जब आप प्रॉपर दिनचर्या, ऋतुचर्या फॉलो करोगे, आपकी प्रकृति, खुद की प्रकृति समझने की कोशिश करेंगे, तो हमारे लाइकिंग्स यानी रुचि और अभिरुचि समझने के बाद, सहिष्णुत्व समझने के बाद, हमको ये समझ में आएगा कि इन द फ्यूचर अपकमिंग पीरियड what are the possible outcomes और prediction of the disease development, right? ये tendencies develop होना शुरू हो जाएगी. So ये predictive medicine के अंडर आएगा. यहाँ पे एक आयुर्वेदा का contribution समझा जा सकता है. दूसरा prevention of illness and promotion of wellness, जो मैं अभी बता रहा हूँ. तो प्रिवेंटिव मेजर्स में प्रकृति के साथ साथ ही अपने शरीर का संगठन, इस कंटेक्स्ट में धातु सारता एक अच्छा कंसेप्ट है आयुर्वेद का, जो आपको ये सिखाता है कि आपके शरीर का संगठन किस तरह से तैयार हुआ है, कौन सा धातु आपका सारवान है, और किस तरह से मैं खुद को इलनेस से बचा सकता हूं और वेलनेस की तरफ जा सकता हूं विद द चॉइसेस ऑफ अप्रोप्रिएट दिनचर्या एंड ऋतुचर्या, राइट. सो ये प्रिवेंटिव मेडिसिन के तहत आएगा. उसी को लेते हुए अगर आप ये समझने की कोशिश करेंगे कि हर व्यक्ति की प्रकृति अलग अलग है, तो उस हिसाब से हम टेलर्ड ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल्स, राइट. इवन दो फीवर इज हैविंग इन पर्टिकुलर 2 पीपल्स, तो फीवर प्रकृति के हिसाब से भी अलग अलग प्रकार से डील किया जा सकता है, ट्रीट किया जा सकता है, क्योंकि उनका शारीरिक संगठन अलग अलग है। इसको हम जेनेटिक मेकअप कहेंगे। उसके लाइफस्टाइल और एनवायरमेंटल चेंजेस, उसके ऊपर होने वाला दोषों का जो चय प्रकोप प्रशम बताया गया है ऋतुओं में, उस हिसाब से समझ पाएंगे। सो आयुर्वेद एक अच्छा शास्त्र है जो पर्सनलाइज्ड मेडिसिन के तहत समझा जाना जरूरी है आज की पीढ़ी को। द लास्ट इज पार्टिसिपेटरी। यहाँ पे मैं कोट करना चाहूंगा, प्रीवियसली ऐसा होता था कि डॉक्टर को कुछ भी आपके पास पेशेंट आता है तो हम उसको ट्रीट करके छोड़ देते थे। आज वो सारी इंफॉर्मेशन जो है उनके पास बहुत सारे टेक्नोलॉजी सर्च इंजिन है या एप्स है, देर आर मल्टीपल रिसोर्सेस, राइट? सो दे कैन गेन लॉट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन फ्रॉम एवरीथिंग। बट अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट, अगर आपको पेशेंट को वाकई में ठीक करना है इन टूडेज इरा, इट इज मस्ट दैट द पेशेंट शुड बी मेक अवेयर अबाउट हिज ओन चॉइसेस, विच चॉइसेस आर गुड फॉर हिम एंड बैड फॉर हिम। जो हमने पहला प्रिंसिपल देखा था, ऑटोनॉमी, स्वतंत्र, तो उनके चॉइसेस को रेस्पेक्ट करते हुए उनको एजुकेट करना जरूरी है। सो एम्पावरिंग इस तरह से अगर आप करोगे तो आप पेशेंट को खुद को एक पावर समझाने की, देने की कोशिश कर रहे हो कि आपके डिसीज का प्रोग्रेस आप खुद ट्रैक कर सकते हो, और उनकी इन्वॉल्वमेंट जितनी ज्यादा रहेगी आपके ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल्स में, उसके डिसीजन, दैट विल बी मोर बेनिफिशियल फॉर अस। और इसके चलते मैं ऐसे समझता हूं कि एक समाज में हम स्वस्थ नागरिकत्व या स्वस्थ नागरिक को ज्यादा प्राधान्य देने की कोशिश करेंगे। सो P4 मेडिसिन की जो ब्रांच है, इसमें आयुर्वेदा का बहुत अच्छा और बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन है, ये मैं समझ सकता हूँ। यहाँ पे मैंने एक एक एग्जाम्पल के साथ समझाने की कोशिश की है। जो चार अभी हमने प्रिंसिपल्स देखे हैं, राइट, ये चार प्रिंसिपल्स में एक एक सिनेरियो के साथ आयुर्वेद का क्या क्या अप्रोच है और आयुर्वेद किस तरह से वहां पे हेल्पफुल रहेगा हमको, ये समझाने की कोशिश की है यहाँ पे। जैसा पहला है पेशेंट ऑटोनॉमी, राइट? सो वी विल कंसिडर अ सिनेरियो हियर, अ पेशेंट हु इज डीलिंग विद एंजाइटी एंड इंसोमिया, राइट? और उसको ये समझ में आ रहा है कि आई नीड टू अवॉइड फार्मास्यूटिकल ड्रग्स, मल्टीपल फार्मास्यूटिकल ड्रग्स, जिसकी वजह से मेरी डिपेंडेंसी बढ़ रही है उसके ऊपर। सो आयुर्वेद का अप्रोच यहाँ पे क्या रहेगा? इफ वी ट्राई टू एजुकेट, आयुर्वेद के इंटरवेंशन से हमने अगर यहाँ पे पेशेंट को इतना एजुकेट किया एटलीस्ट कि उनकी प्रकृति कौन सी है, जैसा फॉर एग्जांपल वात प्रकृति वाले जो है, उसमें प्रकृति में ही मानसिक स्वभाव में ऐसा लिखा गया है कि वो नेचुरली ही भीरू होते हैं, राइट? सो दे आर हैविंग मोर ससेप्टेबल, फियर जो इमोशन है उसमें ज्यादा ससेप्टेबल होता है, जिसकी वजह से नर्वस सिस्टम की इंस्टेबिलिटी होगी। सो उनका डोमिनेंस ज्यादा रहेगा। तो उस हिसाब से आप उसको अगर एजुकेट करने की कोशिश करोगे प्रकृति के लिए, तो मैं समझता हूं कि इस सिनारियो से हम पेशेंट को बाहर निकाल सकते हैं। इसके अगेंस्ट हम उसको क्या ऑफर कर सकते हैं? तो जैसे, क्योंकि वो पहले से ही फार्मास्यूटिकल ड्रग्स के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट होता जा रहा है, तो हमारे पास नॉन फार्माकोलॉजिकल ऑप्शंस में एक डाइटरी रेजिमेन, आहार की संकल्पना अच्छी रहनी चाहिए, अभ्यंग है, उसके बाद ऐसे हर्ब्स है हमारे पास जो, जैसे फॉर एग्जांपल ब्राह्मी है, अश्वगंधा है, योगा है, मेडिटेशन है, ये सारे प्रोटोकॉल्स, ये सारे हर्ब्स जो है, ये आयुर्वेद का ट्रेजर माना गया है कि जो ऐसे पेशेंट को वहां से ड्रग्स की डिपेंडेंसी से बाहर निकाल सकता है। सो यहाँ पे हम क्या करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि विद रेस्पेक्ट टू द पेशेंट्स ऑटोनॉमी, we are trying to provide the effective and personalized care to that particular patient, right? So this gives the patient a complete awareness about the Ayurveda, right? Then beneficence. Beneficence में एक एग्जांपल हम ऐसा समझ सकते हैं कि फॉर एग्जांपल एन एल्डरली पेशेंट who is suffering from an cognitive decline, जैसा अल्जाइमर जैसे पेशेंट्स में, राइट, अल्जाइमर जैसे डिसीज वाले पेशेंट्स में हम समझ सकते हैं कि उनकी स्मरण शक्ति जो है वो दिन ब दिन जो है वो थोड़ा सा कम होते जाती है, कॉग्निटिव डिक्लाइन होता जा रहा है। सो मेमोरी और वाइटलिटी के सपोर्ट के लिए हम क्या कर सकते हैं? तो आयुर्वेद में एक रसायन शास्त्र है, अष्टांग आयुर्वेद में एक इसका अच्छा सा महत्व है जो रसायन थेरेपी के तौर पे देखा गया है, जिसमें ब्राह्मी, शंखपुष्पी, मंडूकपर्णी ऐसे बहुत सारे हर्ब्स हैं। डाइटरी एडजस्टमेंट्स हम कर सकते हैं, राइट? सो मेमोरी एनहांसिंग मेडिटेटिव प्रैक्टिसेस, जैसा हमने अभी देखा योगा, मेडिटेशन, ये हम उसको ऑप्शन दे सकते हैं। इसके साथ साथ आश्वासन चिकित्सा का एक बहुत अच्छा महत्व है, संहिता में बताया गया है। सो साइको सोशल सपोर्ट भी हम वहां पे कर सकते हैं। इट इज नॉट जस्ट अ फिजिकल ट्रीटमेंट, राइट? तो हम उसको अगर आश्वासन चिकित्सा भी देने की कोशिश करेंगे तो हम ऐसे पेशेंट्स को वहां से काफी हद तक बाहर निकालने की कोशिश करेंगे। अगर इस प्रयास में हम सक्सेसफुल रहे तो आई सपोज दैट कि हम आयुर्वेद की तरफ से जो एसडीजीज बताए गए हैं, राइट, सस्टेनेबल डेवलपमेंट गोल्स, उसको कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहे हैं। हम सिर्फ सिम्टोमेटिक ट्रीटमेंट की तरफ नहीं देख रहे हैं, वी आर ट्राइंग टू support the SDGs, which are 20 SDGs which are given by United Nations and accepted globally worldwide, right? सो ये आयुर्वेदा का प्रिंसिपल है जो हम हितकारी या कल्याणकारी आयुष्य देने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं समाज को एक अच्छे व्यक्ति बनाने के लिए। देन नॉन मेलेफिसेंस, यहाँ पे एक एग्जांपल कोट करना चाहूंगा। कंसिडर अ पेशेंट हु इज ऑलरेडी ऑन मोर देन नंबर ऑफ फार्मास्यूटिकल ड्रग्स, अगेन ड्रग डिपेंडेंसी है, लेकिन ऐसी अवस्था में भी अगर कोई इनकॉम्पिटेंट या इनएक्सपीरियंस प्रैक्टिशनर रहेगा और वो पेशेंट का बल यानी आतुर का बल, रोगी का बल जो बताया गया है, दोषों का बल, ये ध्यान में ना रखते हुए अगर अननेसेसरी उसको आयुर्वेद डिटॉक्स जो पंचकर्म है वो करने की कोशिश करेंगे तो उसको शरीर की जरूरत से ज्यादा हानि होने की संभावना है। तो ऐसे केस में हम पहले टू ट्राई टू मिनिमाइज द रिस्क एंड मैक्सिमाइज द सेफ्टी, ये हमारा पॉलिसी अपनाएंगे टू अवॉइड और प्रिवेंट द रिस्क ऑफ एडवर्स रिएक्शन, राइट। सो उसके साथ साथ हम उसको प्रॉपर डाइटरी चेंजेस एंड स्मॉल और स्लाइट चेंज इन द आहार विहार के साथ साथ डेली रूटीन में, दिनचर्या ऋतुचर्या, टू विच विल बी हेल्पफुल टू ओवरबर्डन हिज बॉडी and undergo any physical stress due to aggressive detox procedures, right? So यहाँ पे हम कौन सी भावना या कौन सा प्रिंसिपल को पालन कर रहे हैं, वो है अहिंसा धर्म, फर्स्ट डू नो हार्म। ये इथिकल प्रिंसिपल है जो आयुर्वेद कंट्रीब्यूट कर रहा है बायो एथिक्स में, राइट। सो दिस कम्स फ्रॉम आयुर्वेदा साइंस। देन जस्टिस कंसिडर करो कि एक रूरल एरिया की हमारी बात चल रही है और वहां पे मॉडर्न मेडिसिन या आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट एनी पर्टिकुलर पैथी, लेकिन कई सारी संसाधने या रिसोर्सेस वहां पे अवेलेबल नहीं है। देन आयुर्वेद क्लिनिक सर्व हियर एज वेरी अ बेस्ट ऑप्शन विच विल सर्व फॉर अ प्राइमरी केयर सेंटर। और ये आयुर्वेद क्लिनिक्स के लिए आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट अ प्रॉपर क्लिनिकल सेटअप बिकॉज आई बिलीव दैट इंडियन किचन्स, राइट, इंडियन किचन्स आर फुल ऑफ आयुर्वेद हर्ब्स स्पाइसेस, क्योंकि हमारी किचन में जितनी सामग्री है, कितने स्पाइसेस है, ये कॉन्डिमेंट्स है, ये सारी चीजें आपके हेल्थ केयर को बनाए रखने के लिए, स्वास्थ्य बनाए रखने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा मात्रा में उपयोगी है। सो एक अफोर्डेबल और लोकली सोर्स्ड वहां पे जो रिसोर्सेस अवेलेबल है उसके हिसाब से हम उसको ट्रीट कर सकते हैं एंड सभी पेशेंट को उसका लाभ मिलेगा। सो ऑल द पेशेंट्स विल बी ट्रीटेड इक्वली। और इस कंटेक्स्ट में एक वैद्य की वृत्ति जो बताई गई है चरक सूत्रस्थान चैप्टर 8 में, तो उसमें करुणा, समता, राइट, ये भी हम इसका पालन कर सकते हैं। सो कम्युनिटी बेस्ड प्रिवेंटिव एजुकेशन का यहाँ पे ज्यादा महत्व दिया जा सकता है और इसका बढ़ावा किया जा सकता है। तो इस तरह से अगर आप देखोगे तो हम एक समाज में रहते हुए एक सोशल मॉडल फॉर हेल्थ केयर सर्विसेज एक डेवलप कर सकते हैं। सो ये एक अच्छा कंट्रीब्यूशन है आयुर्वेद का प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ बायोएथिक्स इन दिस करंट कंटेम्पररी ईरा, मैं समझ सकता हूँ। एक और चीज यहाँ पे ऐड करना चाहूंगा, जैसा एंड ऑफ लाइफ केयर। नाउ हियर वी विल डिस्कस द ब्यूटी ऑफ आयुर्वेदा। एंड ऑफ लाइफ केयर, आयुर्वेद सिर्फ अस्तित्व जब तक है वहीं तक काम में नहीं आएगा। जैसा हमें यहाँ पे एक एग्जांपल कोट करने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि एक टर्मिनल कैंसर का पेशेंट है हु वांट्स टू स्टॉप इवन दो ही हैज बेनिफिटेड फ्रॉम द कीमोथेरेपी, राइट, फिर भी वो अभी कीमोथेरेपी से फ्रस्ट्रेट होकर उसको स्टॉप करना है एंड ही सीक्स पीस थ्रू द स्पिरिचुअल प्रैक्टिसेस। So Ayurveda believes, क्योंकि आयुर्वेद compulsorily it not only deals with the metaphysical body, along with body it also deals with mind and soul. So आत्मा का भी उतना ही महत्व है आयुर्वेद शास्त्र में। तो जो क्रिया शरीर के एक सिलेबस का भी एक अविभाज्य अंग है या सिलेबस का एक पार्ट है, मैं बताना चाहूंगा। So Ayurveda views death as a natural process, right? So एक पैलेटिव रसायन थेरेपी या सूदिंग हर्ब्स, प्रेयर, मंत्र, जैसा आयुर्वेद में दैव प्राशय या सत्वावजय ये चिकित्सा बताई गई है, ये सारी चीजें भी हम पेशेंट को समझा सकते हैं। एट द लास्ट मैं ये समझाना चाहूंगा कि पेशेंट को पहला एजुकेशन करना जरूरी होगा टू प्रमोट वेलनेस और टू मूव टुवर्ड्स एनी पर्टिकुलर डिग्निटी, टू मेंटेन द डिग्निटी ऑफ डेथ, राइट। सो ये सारी चीजें जो है पैलेटिव इथिक्स के अंदर आएगी, जो आयुर्वेदा की तरफ से कंट्रीब्यूशन है इन सारी कंटेम्पररी ईरा में, मैं समझ सकता हूं। इस कंटेक्स्ट में एक समरी के हिसाब से हम समझने की कोशिश करेंगे, जैसा आयुर्वेद सपोर्ट हम क्या दे सकते हैं एंड विथ रेफरेंस टू इट्स एप्लीकेशन, टुडेज एप्लीकेशन, राइट, इन द कंटेम्पररी प्रैक्टिसेस। जैसा ऑटोनॉमी एक पहला प्रिंसिपल हमने देखा, उसमें हमने एक एग्जांपल कोट किया था। हम अगर पेशेंट को, हर व्यक्ति को एक प्रकृति, क्योंकि अभी एक ये भी बताना चाहूंगा कि हाल ही में हमने इन द डिसम्बर 24 जैन फेब टिल आज तक हम देश का प्रकृति परीक्षण कर चुके हैं, तो उस हिसाब से मैं समझ सकता हूँ कि जन जन में सभी लोगों को आयुर्वेद में प्रकृति नाम का एक कंसेप्ट है, उसका भी अवेयरनेस काफी हद तक हुआ होगा। सो इससे हम हर एक व्यक्ति का पर्सनैलिटी, हर एक व्यक्ति का जो बिल्डअप है, बॉडी बिल्डअप, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट ओनली फिजिकल बट ओवरऑल, वो अलग अलग है। तो उसके वजह से पर्सनलाइज मेडिसिन का एक कंसेप्ट अप्रोच डेवलप हो सकता है। तो ये ऑटोनॉमी प्रिंसिपल से हम समझ सकते हैं। तो चॉइस बेस्ड या टेलर्ड ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल्स हम डेवलप कर सकते हैं हर व्यक्ति के हिसाब से। देन बेनिफिसेंस, जैसा हमने एक एग्जांपल देखा था रसायन का, तो उसके हिसाब से हम उसको सात्विक लाइफस्टाइल, जो स्पेशली फॉर जरा, एक अष्टांग आयुर्वेद में एक अच्छा ब्रांच बताइए तो जरा, एल्डरली केयर में, क्रोनिक डिसीज में ये सपोर्ट के तौर पे यूज किया जा सकता है। देन नॉन मेलेफिसेंस, अहिंसा, जिसका एक बेसिक प्रिंसिपल है। तो जेंटल इंटरवेंशंस, वेरी सॉफ्ट, पेशेंट का फॉर एग्जांपल तीक्ष्ण पेशेंट का अग्नि और कोष्ठ समझ के हम उसको मृदु औषध देने की कोशिश करेंगे, राइट। जो तीक्ष्ण औषध है वो देने से उसका अगर कोष्ठ और ज्यादा विपरीत हो जाएगा, तो इसके लिए हम इस तरह की चिकित्सा की प्लानिंग कर सकते हैं। सो टू अवॉइड अग्रेसिव इंटेंस डिटॉक्स प्रोसीजर्स ऑल्सो। सो ये हम नॉन मेलेफिसेंस में समझ सकते हैं। जस्टिस, समता, यूनिवर्सल केयर, रूरल क्लिनिक्स, अभी हमने देखा प्राइमरी हेल्थ केयर सेटअप्स भी हम रूरल एरियाज में कर सकते हैं, विच विल गिव द अफोर्डेबल ट्रीटमेंट्स टू एवरी पब्लिक, कॉमनली फॉर एवरी पब्लिक, राइट। डिग्निटी डाइंग, जैसा आत्मा मोक्ष स्पिरिचुअल केयर है, सो विच विल सपोर्ट द होलिस्टिक एंड ऑफ लाइफ केयर ऑल्सो। सो दिस वॉज जस्ट अ समरी ऑफ ऑल द प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ बायोएथिक्स। जैसा अभी सर ने कोट किया था वही मैं दोबारा दोहराना चाहूंगा, चिकित्सा चतुष्पाद, राइट। आयुर्वेद ये मानता है कि क्रिया मतलब ट्रीटमेंट सिर्फ वो नहीं है जो औषध से की जाती है, या वो नहीं है जो सिर्फ पेशेंट ले रहा है। एक रूम में चार जो कंपोनेंट है, वो चारों के चारों मिलके उनकी वृत्ति जो बताई गई है, शास्त्र में जो शब्द आता है वो है वृत्ति, राइट। तो प्रवृत्ति धातु साम्यार्था, जिस तरह से ऐसी कोई भी ट्रीटमेंट, ऐसी कोई भी एक्शन, आपकी ऐसी कोई भी सोच जो पेशेंट को रोग मुक्त करे, ये सारी चीजों में चार कंपोनेंट्स महत्वपूर्ण है। एक है भिषक, दैट इज फिजिशियन, दूसरा है द्रव्य, दैट इज मेडिसिन, और उस कमरे में रहने वाला उपस्थाता, दैट इज अटेंडेंट, एंड खुद रोगी। जब तक रोगी ये नहीं जानेगा कि मेरे लिए क्या अच्छा है क्या बुरा है, उसके बिना आप उसको ट्रीट नहीं कर सकते। तो ये चिकित्सा चतुष्पाद जो है ये आपको ये बताते हैं, जैसा ये सारे प्रिंसिपल्स जो है ये शास्त्र में बताए गए हैं। जैसा एक बिशप, आइडियल बिशप किस तरह से बताया गया है कि वो दक्ष होना चाहिए, ही शुड बी जुडिशियस, राइट, प्रॉपर डिसीजन मेकिंग उसको होना चाहिए। शास्त्र, ही शुड बी नॉलेजेबल। दृष्टकर्मा, ही शुड बी प्रैक्टिस ओरिएंटेड, not restricted only about the theoretical knowledge, right. शुचि, प्यूरिटी, आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग विद द फिजिकल प्यूरिटी, उसके विचार भी शुद्ध होने चाहिए ताकि वो उस तरह से कल्याणकारी एक्शंस में इंप्रोवाइज कर सके। अगर हम द्रव्य की बात करेंगे, बहुकल्प, राइट, ऐसा हर्ब, ऐसा कोई भी औषध जिसको अलग अलग तरीके से अपनाया जा सकता है, लिया जा सकता है, यूटिलिटी इन वेरियस फॉर्म्स, बहुगुण, अलग अलग गुणों वाला होना चाहिए, सभी प्रकार से संपन्न होना चाहिए और योग्य होना चाहिए। जैसा मैंने बताया कि हर प्रकृति के हिसाब से अलग हो सकता है, अग्नि के हिसाब से अलग हो सकता है, कोष्ठ का विचार करके हम अलग चिकित्सा दे सकते हैं। सो योग्य होना चाहिए। दूसरा, उपस्थाता, जो अटेंडेंट है, राइट, जो परिचारक है, वो अनुरक्त होना चाहिए, जो काइंड हार्टेड, नोबल हार्टेड होना चाहिए। ही शुड नॉट बी एग्रेसिव इन नेचर, क्योंकि उसका भी एक बहुत अच्छा महत्व बताया गया है, ठीक है। शुचि, उसके भी विचार शुद्ध होने चाहिए। वो भी, अभी देखो यहाँ पे मैं कोट करना चाहूंगा कि अगर फिजिशियन के बाद किसी को अगर डिसीजन की पावर दी गई है तो वो है उपस्थाता यानी अटेंडेंट। तो वो भी दक्ष होना चाहिए, बुद्धिमान, वो भी इंटेलिजेंट होना चाहिए, क्योंकि समय रहते हुए तत्परता वो उसमें रहनी चाहिए। रोगी, ये आढ़्य रोगी बताया गया है, रिच या वेल्दी। भिषक वश्य, वो ओबीडियंट होना चाहिए। ऐसा ना हो कि फिजिशियन ने या फिर उपस्थाता ने जो भी बताया गया है वो ना करते हो, क्योंकि आज के तरफ में टेक्नोलॉजी के बहुत सारे प्रोज एंड कॉन्स है। सो एवरीथिंग विच इज गिवन बाय फिजिशियन और इम्प्लीमेंटेड बाय फिजिशियन, द एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल ऑन द सर्च इंजिन्स और लाइक एनी पर्टिकुलर सर्च इंजिन्स और एप्स। सो उसने अगर अपने ही मन से चिकित्सा लेने की कोशिश की तो वो उसको फ्रूटफुल नहीं रहेगी। उसके बाद ज्ञापक होना चाहिए, ही शुड बी हैविंग अ गुड स्मरण शक्ति। देन सत्ववान होना चाहिए, ये सबसे ज्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट है एक रोगी में, दैट इज सत्ववान। उसका विल पावर, ये आपके पेशेंट के ऑटोनॉमी यानी स्वतंत्रता के ऊपर डिपेंडेंट है कि सेल्फ डिस्क्रिमिनेशन, मेरी बॉडी हर एक से, हर एक जीवात्मा से अलग है, मैं खुद को ठीक कर सकता हूं, ये विश्वास उसके अंदर भी हमेशा होना चाहिए। तो ये एक स्ट्रॉन्ग विल पावर, सत्ववान, ये पेशेंट का एक अच्छा गुण बताया गया है। जैसे डॉक्टर पेशेंट रिलेशनशिप की हम जब बात करेंगे तो एक अच्छा कोटेशन भी आयुर्वेद का कंट्रीब्यूशन के तौर पे देखा गया है कि एक फिजिशियन में मैत्री, दे शुड बी अफेक्शनेट। जब तक ये अफेक्शन नहीं रहेगा, आप उसको सिर्फ बिना किसी ऋणानुबंध के, है ना, बिना किसी बॉन्डिंग के आप उसको सिर्फ एक बॉडी समझ के उसको ट्रीट कर रहे हो, तो चिकित्सा आपकी फलदायी नहीं रहेगी। कारुण्यता, ये आयुर्वेद का कोर एरिया है। अपार्ट फ्रॉम ट्रीटिंग ओनली अ मेटाफिजिकल बॉडी, आप में कंपैशन होना चाहिए टुवर्ड्स पेशेंट। सो ये एक बताया गया है। देन प्रीति, ट्रीटिंग विथ अफेक्शन, राइट। सो ये भी एक बताया गया है, डॉक्टर पेशेंट रिलेशनशिप का एक अच्छा कोर प्रिंसिपल है। एंड रिफ्रेनिंग, जैसा मैंने लास्ट प्रीवियस स्लाइड्स में बताया था कि लिमिटेशंस जैसे पेशेंट के हैं वैसे फिजिशियन के भी लिमिटेशंस है। सो अननेसेसरी कोई, हम हर कोई चिकित्सा करने के चक्कर में किसी इनक्यूरेबल पेशेंट्स को भी मैं क्योर कर सकता हूँ इसका आश्वासन देके उसको डिस्ट्रैक्ट करना, ये हमारे लिए उचित नहीं रहेगा। सो इसका भी यहाँ पे कोटेशन आया हुआ है। सो दिस शोज हाउ डीपली द स्कॉलर्स ऑफ आयुर्वेदा सिंस लॉन्ग ईयर्स और डिकेड्स अगो, राइट, कई युगों पहले उन्होंने ये सारी चीजें सोच के रखी थी कि एक सोशल रिलेशनशिप किस तरह से होनी चाहिए व्हेन वी टॉक अबाउट फिजिशियन एंड पेशेंट। सो मैं समझता हूं कि ये एक आज के पेशेंट सेफ्टी डे के ऊपर ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण श्लोक है जो आयुर्वेद की तरफ से कंट्रीब्यूट किया गया है। Then I will just overlook all the therapeutic modalities which are options available in Ayurveda. For example, हमारे पास चिकित्सा में कितने सारे options हैं। जैसा एक द्रव्यभूत है, एक अद्रव्यभूत चिकित्सा है। द्रव्यभूत में आपके पास शमन है, शोधन है। अद्रव्यभूत में मैंने जैसे पहले थोड़ी देर पहले कोट किया था। I will not go in detail with this treatment protocols. Preferably everyone might be knowing about this. तो हमारे पास दैव प्राश्रय है, सत्वावजय है, युक्ति व प्राश्रय है। युक्ति प्रमाण का एक अच्छा महत्वपूर्ण महत्व बताया गया है आयुर्वेद में। देन द्विविध उपक्रम की जब हम बात करेंगे, संतर्पणजन्य अपतर्पणजन्य, जिसमें शोधन है, शमन है, बताए गए हैं, राइट। अगेन द्विविध उपक्रम में, संतर्पण अपतर्पण में हमारे पास द्विविध उपक्रम एंड अलोंग विद दैट षड्विध उपक्रम भी हम समझ सकते हैं, जैसा ब्रुवन स्नेहन स्तंभन एंड लंघन रुक्षण स्वेदन। तो इतने सारे ट्रीटमेंट मॉडलिटीज है आयुर्वेद में जो वाकई में आयुर्वेद को यूनिक बनाती है टू गिव और कंट्रीब्यूट समथिंग वेरी स्पेशल इन दिस फील्ड ऑफ इथिक्स। इसके अलावा दोष प्रकोपक है, दोषों के अवस्था के हिसाब से चिकित्सा की जा सकती है। दोष शामक एक है। एंड स्वस्थ व्यक्ति के लिए आयुर्वेद एक अच्छा, जैसा आयुर्वेद का खुद की निरुक्ति भी ये जाहिर करती है कि आयुर्वेद सिर्फ रोगी के लिए नहीं है, ये एक जीवन जीने का एक जरिया है। तो स्वास्थ्य ऊर्जस्कर, आपका स्वास्थ्य बनाए रखने के लिए भी आयुर्वेद के कई सारे प्रिंसिपल्स है जो आपको ये बताएंगे कि एक स्वस्थ व्यक्ति के लिए भी आयुर्वेद किस तरीके से इस्तेमाल किया जा सकता है, जिसको आज के तारीख में मैं समझता हूं कि अगर इतना भी हम कर ले, मैं पेशेंट की तरफ से बात कर रहा हूं कि हम पर्सनलाइज्ड मेडिसिन या प्रकृति का अवेयरनेस भी खुद को अगर कर ले तो ये बहुत बड़ी बात होगी कि जन जन में, हर घर में, हर जगह पे आयुर्वेद का प्रचार और प्रसार होने के बहुत अच्छे चांसेस है। इसी कंटेक्स्ट में आयुर्वेद में एक और अच्छा कंसेप्ट बताया गया है, दैट इज कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट, दैट इज आचार रसायन, राइट। कोई भी हेल्थ केयर सिस्टम, कोई भी प्रैक्टिशनर, जब आप ये प्रोफेशन में एंट्री करते हो, एडमिशन लेते हो, तो आपको एक ओथ लेना पड़ता है एज ए पार्ट एंड पार्सल ऑफ योर प्रोफेशन। तो जैसा वेस्टर्न स्कूल्स ऑफ मेडिसिन में हिपोक्रेट्स ओथ है, वैसा ही आचार्य चरक ने भी अपनी ओथ पहले से ही बताई गई है। सो सी ऑल द प्रिंसिपल्स, ऑल द विजन which are developed in the western schools of medicine, those have been previously postulated by our ancient Ayurveda scholars also. So आचार रसायन भी एक अच्छा कंसेप्ट है जो सीधा कोड ऑफ इथिक्स, कोड ऑफ कंडक्ट के तरफ इशारा कर रहा है कि आयुर्वेद का बहुत बड़ा कंट्रीब्यूशन है, जिसका सीधा रेफरेंस आ रहा है चरक विमान 8 से, राइट। इसमें से कुछ पॉइंट्स मैं यहाँ पे हाईलाइट करना चाहूंगा, जैसा मैं यहाँ पे एस्पेक्ट और उसका चरक ओथ में आया हुआ वाक्य और उसके मॉडर्न बायोएथिक्स के साथ जो कोरिलेशन है उसके हिसाब से हम थोड़ा सा हाईलाइट करने की कोशिश करेंगे। जैसा अगर मैं ये बात करूं कि पर्पस ऑफ मेडिसिन, औषध की क्या जरूरत है, राइट। तो औषध की जरूरत इसीलिए है कि एक बार आपने हेल्थ केयर प्रोफेशन में एडमिशन लेने के बाद टू टीच द स्टूडेंट्स एंड सर्विंग द पेशेंट इज माय धर्म। तो ये मेरी सबसे पहली ड्यूटी है। आयुर्वेद ने क्लियर बता दिया है कि ये आपकी पहली ड्यूटी है, पेशेंट सेंटर्ड केयर होना। मॉडर्न बायोएथिक्स में किस तरह से समझेंगे, पेशेंट सेंटर्ड केयर, पेशेंट के राइट्स को जतन करना, पेशेंट का वेलफेयर समझना, ये आपकी पहली ड्यूटी है। रोल ऑफ टीचर क्या रहेगा? सो गुरु को एक गाइड की तरह माना गया है। इवन आपको गुरु को पूजना है ड्यूरिंग योर लाइफ ऑल्सो, बाय वेल्थ ऑल्सो। ये एक प्रकार का फॉर्मल एकेडमिक एंड प्रोफेशनल रेस्पेक्ट के अंडर आता है। देन मैं नॉन डिस्क्रिमिनेशन की बात करूंगा, राइट। सो नॉन डिस्क्रिमिनेशन जैसा इक्वलिटी के बारे में बताया गया है। सो ट्रीट ऑल द पेशेंट्स विदाउट बायस, डू नॉट रिजेक्ट एनी पेशेंट just because of the caste, status or wealth or any particular character. So ये बायोएथिक्स के प्रिंसिपल में जस्टिस, इक्वलिटी एंड हेल्थ केयर को एक्सेस देने के लिए काम में आएगा। एक सबसे पहला मुद्दा ये है इसमें कि कॉन्फिडेंशियलिटी। जब आप पेशेंट के साथ हितगुज कर रहे हैं, पेशेंट के साथ बातें कर रहे हैं, तो एक प्राइम ड्यूटी के तौर पे हमारा ये दायित्व बनता है कि पेशेंट के सारे सीक्रेट्स, पेशेंट की सारी चीजें आपके पास गोपनीय रहनी चाहिए। सो डाटा प्राइवेसी या पेशेंट की ऑटोनॉमी को रेस्पेक्ट करना, जतन करना, ये आपके बायोएथिक्स का एक सबसे पहला प्रिंसिपल आएगा। देन कंडक्ट एंड प्यूरिटी, जैसा अभी हमने चिकित्सा चतुष्पाद में गुण देखे थे, उसी प्रकार से डिसिप्लिन शुड बी नॉट ओनली इन योर एक्शंस, इट शुड बी इन योर थॉट्स ऑल्सो। क्योंकि आयुर्वेद सिर्फ बॉडी नहीं मानता है, बॉडी के साथ साथ यानी शरीर के साथ साथ मन और आत्मा को भी उतना ही महत्व दिया गया है। सो ये आपके प्रोफेशनल इथिक्स या एक व्यक्ति को अकाउंटेबल बनाने के लिए ये बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है। देन प्रोहिबिशन, राइट। जब आप एक अच्छा नाम कमा लेते हो, देयर शुड नॉट बी एनी ग्रीड, नो एक्सप्लॉइटेशन और नो एनी सेक्सुअल मिसकंडक्ट शुड बी देयर। सो इस प्रकार से अगर आप ये बिहेव करोगे तो यू विल ट्राई टू preserve and protect the non-maleficence, right? This type of principle of bioethics. So ये एक ethical research के अंडर component आएगा. Then compassion, right? आयुर्वेद आपको सिर्फ चिकित्सा करना ये नहीं सिखाता है, आयु जीने का भी एक मार्गदर्शन करता है। तो ट्रीट पेशेंट्स एज अ फैमिली, उसमें क्लियर कट ये इंडिकेशंस है कि आपको रोगी को जो है, जैसा प्रकृति में भी एक शब्द आता है, मैं सुंदर शब्द यहाँ पे कोट करना चाहूंगा, आश्रित वत्सल। आपके आश्रय में आने वाला आपके आश्रय में आने वाला, आपके सराउंडिंग में आने वाला हर व्यक्ति को आपको अपने ही व्यक्ति की तरह, अपने फैमिली मेंबर की तरह जतन करना है। पहले उसको एक ट्रीट एज अ ह्यूमन। सो टू ट्रीट पेशेंट्स एज अ फैमिली, बेनिफिशियल सिंपैथी एंड पेशेंट की डिग्निटी को रेस्पेक्ट करना, ये उसको हम सिखा रहे हैं। एंड द लास्ट, that is spiritual or ethical foundation which is based on dharma, ahimsa and satya। जो सेक्युलर है, प्रिंसिपल बेस्ड है, वो आपको चरक ओथ से ये सारे प्रिंसिपल्स मिल रहे हैं। ऑल दीज आर कमिंग फ्रॉम, जैसे मैंने पहले बताया था, इट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम रेफरेंस, दैट इज चरक विमान स्थान चैप्टर 8 रोग विशेषित अध्याय, राइट। थोड़ा सा मैंने यहाँ पे कोशिश की है कि कंपेयर करें कि वेस्टर्न बायोएथिक्स एंड आयुर्वेदा का कंट्रीब्यूशन में कहाँ पे थोड़ा सा डिफरेंशिएट कर सकते हैं। Whereas Western bioethics mainly focuses on the individual rights and autonomy, right? अच्छी बात है, सही बात है, लेकिन आयुर्वेदा थोड़ा सा उसके आगे लेके जाएगा, that is interconnectedness. When we talk about interconnectedness, we are talking about the cultural and societal values, moral values of particular people, right? So आयुर्वेद वसुदेव कुटुंबकम की भावना रखता है, इसीलिए हर व्यक्ति समाज में रहने वाला अपने इकोसिस्टम के साथ जुड़ा हुआ है। लोक पुरुष साम्य सिद्धांत आयुर्वेद का यही सिखाता है आपको कि जो लोक में है वही पुरुष में है। तो ये सारी चीजें इंटरकनेक्टेडनेस में यहाँ पे वर्ड यूज करना चाहूंगा। तो ये आयुर्वेद में थोड़ा सा ब्रॉड विजन है। दूसरा, वेस्टर्न बायोएथिक्स जो है, प्राइमरीली इट कंसिडर्स एज अ बॉडी एज ओनली अ मेटाफिजिकल कंपोनेंट, सो इट इज बॉडी सेंटर्ड। मैं पहले से बताते आ रहा हूं, जैसा आयुर्वेद जो है वो होलिस्टिक अप्रोच रखता है, विच इंक्लूड्स बॉडी, माइंड, स्पिरिट, इंक्लूडिंग द एनवायरमेंट, इकोसिस्टम ऑल्सो। इथिक्स की जब हम बात करेंगे, वेस्टर्न स्कूल्स ऑफ मेडिसिन आर हैविंग वेरी नैरो इथिकल स्कोप, जैसा 4 प्रिंसिपल्स बता के उन्होंने छोड़ दिया कि इसका ये महत्व है। लेकिन आयुर्वेदा में ब्रॉडर स्कोप है, जैसा इट डील्स आल्सो along with this 4 principles, it also deals with compassion, environment, सोसाइटी, स्पिरिचुअलिटी, ये सारी भावनाएं आयुर्वेद जागरूक करता है किसी व्यक्ति में, चाहे वो पेशेंट हो, समाज में रहने वाला कोई व्यक्ति हो या कोई फिजिशियन हो। वेस्टर्न बायोएथिक्स इज स्ट्रॉन्ग इन लीगल, नो डाउट, एंड राइट्स बेस्ड फ्रेमवर्क आपको प्रोवाइड करेगा, वेरास आयुर्वेदा आल्सो प्रोवाइड्स यू कल्चरली सेंसिटिव एंड इंटीग्रेटिव, डील्स विद इंटीग्रेटिव हीलिंग अप्रोचेस। सो दिस इज व्हाई आयुर्वेदा मैटर्स टुडे। ये आज की भावना है, क्योंकि कोविड में मैं समझ सकता हूँ कि आयुर्वेद का बहुत ज्यादा उदय अभी आगे देखने को मिलेगा। कोविड ने हम सभी लोगों को एक अच्छी सीख दी है कि आयुर्वेद का, या फिर हाउ टू स्टे ग्राउंड रूटेड, है ना। तो इसके बारे में कोविड एक अच्छा एग्जाम्पल है। लास्टली, आई वुड ऑल्सो कोट आयुर्वेद का एक यूनिक कंट्रीब्यूशन, जब बात आएगी कि आयुर्वेद ने क्या कंट्रीब्यूट किया है इथिक्स में, तो मैं सबसे पहली शुरुआत, एक्चुअली ये स्लाइड लास्ट में आई है लेकिन फिर भी मैं बताना चाहूंगा कि आयुर्वेद का सबसे पहला कंट्रीब्यूशन है इथिक्स के तौर पे। जब हम इथिकली बात करेंगे तो एक ऐसा शास्त्र जो क्या सच है, क्या झूठ है, क्या अच्छा है, क्या बुरा है, यानी बेनिफिशियल, हार्मफुल फॉर लाइफ, हैप्पीनेस एंड सॉरो, राइट, इसके बारे में एंड क्वांटिटेटिवली मेजर करने की एक शास्त्र है, उसके प्रिंसिपल्स आपको ये सिखाएंगे। तो ये एक अच्छा आयुर्वेद का कंट्रीब्यूशन है। सो आयुर्वेद इंटीग्रेट्स हेल्थ, स्पिरिचुअलिटी एंड इथिक्स, क्योंकि आयुर्वेद माइंड, बॉडी एंड सोल में बिलीव करता है। जहां पे एक ऐसा शास्त्र में वापस कोट करना चाहूंगा कि जहां पे उस एक फिजिशियन को, एक वैद्य को सिर्फ मुझे ट्रीट करने वाला एक डॉक्टर या फिजिशियन इस तरह से नहीं देखा जाता है, एक हमारे आयु का, मैं किस तरह से स्वस्थ रह सकता हूं, ऐसा एक मार्गदर्शक या वाकई में एक गुरु माना गया है। Apart from not merely just an healthcare service provider, he is actually an healer and moral guide to you. So this is a unique contribution of Ayurveda towards the ethics, especially which will be beneficial in today's contemporary era. So at the outset, I would like to highlight all the things which we had gone in the previous slides. हमने क्या क्या देखा है आज के इसमें? तो हमने एक एंशिएंट फोरसाइट हमने देखा है, थोड़ा सा हम पास्ट हिस्ट्री में जाके आयुर्वेदा को अच्छे से टटोल के वापस सामने आए हैं इन द करंट एरिया, दैट इज Ayurveda has equally contributed, actually anticipated in the ethical principles, right, to develop, to maintain, to sustain the physician's integrity, patient welfare, and moral values of an individual while living in a society. To respect diversity, right? So to compare the highlights, cultural variations, to respect the diversity in the society or community. होलिस्टिक इंटीग्रेशन, हम बार बार बोलते हैं कि आयुर्वेदा इज एन होलिस्टिक साइंस, होलिस्टिक साइंस। ये होलिस्टिक साइंस यहाँ पे आपको समझ में आएगा कि होलिस्टिक इंटीग्रेशन क्या है। तो आयुर्वेदा नॉट जस्ट डील्स ओनली विद द इथिकल प्रिंसिपल्स, इट गोज बियॉन्ड दैट बिकॉज इट हाईलाइट्स कंपैशन, right, towards any particular individual first, then after the treatment protocols are there. Bridging perspectives, यहाँ पे अगर आप ये सारी चीजें आज के व्याख्यान में समझ पाओगे तो हम समझ सकते हैं कि we had tried to correlate and actually develop a bridge which will try to connect the ancient and modern ethics along with sustainable goals, its development, and protecting the moral and ethical values of an individual while living in a today's society. So Ayurveda enriches and diversifies contemporary bioethical thought, promoting more inclusive and effective healthcare services or practices worldwide. So this was all for today. I sincerely thank CVM University, GJPSR Anand, Professor Dr. Sarita Bhutada, Principal Ma'am, and Dr. Bhavin Sir and his team, Dr. Pandey Sir and Dr. Nikita Ma'am, for inviting me to share my views on today's topic on such a auspicious eve of Patients Safety Day. So last but not least, I would quote here, आयुर्वेद को जब जब आप देखोगे एक सीधा मैसेज याद रखना कि रूटेड इन नेचर, ऐसा शास्त्र विच इज रूटेड इन नेचर बट ग्राउंडेड इन सेफ्टी. सो थैंक यू once again.
Thank you so much, sir, for such an inspiring session. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
If anyone have any query, you can ask in question answer session. You can raise your hand and ask in question answer chat box. Okay, no query. With this, let us commence the second session of our webinar. Session 2 expert, Dr. Nagraj Kamat Sir, MD PhD, Associate Professor and Dean, Innovation and Skill Development Unit, SDM College of Ayurveda and Hospital, Hassan. His expertise on skill lab. We are truly honored to have you with us today, sir. Dr. Nagraj Kamat Sir is an accomplished teacher, researcher, and author of more than 14 books and 130 plus publications. He is widely recognized for his innovative contribution to Ayurveda education and has been honored with awards such as Best Teacher Award 2021 and Ayur Guru 2022. Today, he will share his expertise on the establishment and effective utilization of skill lab. Welcome, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hope my screen is visible and voice is proper.
Yes, sir.
Screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much. First of all, I am very much thankful for the organizers for giving me an opportunity to speak today in regards with the establishment and effective utilization of Skill Lab. Without much hindrance, let us move forward with this particular points. So here, in short, what I'll be discussing with. First of all, it is with regards to the administrative section that, how best we can establish the skill lab, not only the skill lab, but the associated wings which are related to the skill lab. And what our apex body, that NCASM, have mentioned in the Gazette, and how best we can expand that particular skill lab in perspective of Ayurveda, because we should be well aware of the thing that the skill lab, or which is mentioned in NCASM, that is Yogya. So the name given for the skill lab, it is as per minimum standards. But apart from whatever the simulators it may be, or the equipments it may be, or the methodologies it may be, it is told in one particular direction. How best we can expand those directions so that it may be our undergraduates or even postgraduates will be utilizing this particular skill lab, or teachers will be training these students, our UG, PG as well as PhD students, so that they improve their skill. Even while approaching the patient, even while treating the patient, and come up with the new treatment methodologies as well as therapeutics. That's very, very important. Considering the overall growth and development of the science, how best we can establish the skill lab, and even we can bloom it up with the other dimensions also. So this is because this is from the 2019 onwards, I have taken care of this particular skill lab in SDM Hassan. So with regards to that, I will be sharing even my experience, how overall it helped in developing a student's career, and finally with regards to patient care. Because whenever we talk about patient safety, etc., things first comes is with regards to how best we can take care of the patient, number one. And second important thing is how best an individual can take care of himself so that he will not become a patient. So this part is very, very important. That is what our Ayurveda speaks about. That is swasthasya swastha rakshanam. So how best we can educate the health seekers, that to how to maintain their health. In the meantime, how best we can train our undergraduates and postgraduate students so that they can heal the problems of the health seekers very soon or in a very effective manner. So these are the usual, this is the usual section which is being included. So first point will be the establishment, the administrative section. After that, the way that skill lab is to be utilized, and even explored, or even the sub branches of it to be considered in the following dimensions. One in the pure conceptual dimension, and the next one will be the observational dimension of it, then the clinical dimension, and academic dimension, and finally research. So because see, whenever we consider the patient safety, etc., even in terms of academia, even in terms of research, there should be some development. So that there should be, exploring some new points in this particular dimension, so that we can give a standardized, so-called, standardized protocols, etc. So considering these aspects also, skill lab is very, very important. It is not that, definitely whenever you consider with the modern science, the impression of the skill lab comes is you are dealing with some simulators or mannequins, that's it. But here it's not like that. Overall, when we consider, because we always try to compare our science with the modern science, but our science dimension is totally different. So we can have a different sections in the skill lab, and the students can explore many of their skills which are embedded within themselves, and they can come through the academics, or through the research, or through the clinical experiences, and they can overall help in the patient safety as well as the patient care. So this is what we will be dealing with. And once again, I want to tell the organizers that there are some few of the videos which I will be playing. So in between, please let me know that the audios are also visible, audios are also audible. That is very important, because I'm using two sets here. So please let me know. In between also, you can tell that if any glitches are there, you can just tell me or stop me. No issues with regards to that. So next point, let us go with what is mentioned in our gazette with regards to the establishment of the skill lab. So they say that it should include the models, mannequins, and most important, that is virtual or augmented reality. So this particular part also we have to touch. Okay. And here we are how to emphasize, being in Ayurveda, the next point is very much important: teaching and training technologies. This is very, very important. For teaching and training, we should use this particular technologies. It may be models, it may be mannequins, or VR technologies we should use, and even the simulators, to cater the needs of training of clinical and other skills, as mentioned in the curriculum and the syllabus. And most important, okay, we have that particular simulators, we have those particular technologies, etc. But we need the storage also. This part of administration is very, very important. It's not that आपने लाखों में mannequins अभी लेके आए हैं, but how best you can store it, that also we have to take care of. So there should be some specific areas, specific boxes in which you will keep all those mannequins after the use. And even the particular skill lab, it should have a centralized AC, so that that particular the health of those simulators, etc., the lifetime of those simulators, it will be increased. That's very, very important, because many students will be working on those mannequins, etc. There are chances of many kind of dirt, dust, sweat, etc. Touch. So for that particular aspect, in between you have to clean also using distilled water. You have to clean those particular simulators and then dry it, and later on you have to store it also in separate boxes. You should keep it away from the sunlight. So that particular point, cool and dry atmosphere, is very much important for storing of those particular simulators or the mannequins. So there should be proper storage, closed storage facility also for the simulators. And next, very, very important, ऐसा नहीं कि आपने building बनाया और ऐसे ही रख दिया. So here you need a coordinator also for that particular section of the skill lab. So you should allot one particular person or office assistant and even the attender. For the skill lab, it is being mentioned. Okay, there should be an office section where you keep the utilization register. which particular section of the skill lab you are is being utilized during the total course of time. You should have a proper record. You should have a proper pattern, so that even monthly report you can send it to the higher authorities, so that to what extent the skill lab is being utilized. It may be for in-house purpose or out-house in collaboration with the different associations. You can do many trainings. It may be for nursing, and other paramedical staff. Skill lab can be effectively utilized for the training purpose of the nurses and other sections, paramedical fields. And the next point here mentioned is with regards to the demonstration area. So where the actual demonstration will be given. So the demonstration and practice rooms equipped with the information and communication technology. It should have a smart board or audio visual, like, you should have a projector or something kind of facilities. And definitely, a reception should have record keeping facility. And at the entrance of the skill lab, they even have mentioned the shoe racks. You see, means how you have a particular OT setting, in that particular manner you should have. Outside the skill lab, there should be a shoe rack where the individual who is entering the skill lab will be keeping the shoes, etc. there, and will be wearing a separate Crocs or pair of slippers while entering into the skill lab. And the skill lab will be having, at the entrance, it will be having an office where all the records are being mentioned, especially with regards to the utilization. Where it is utilized, for what purpose, which section is being utilized, that has to be, written. And there should be, a coordinator will be writing this particular aspects, and there should be attender also who will handle those particular mannequins, simulators, and the other sections. So considering this aspects, I have made some 3D designs of the skill lab, which I feel that because many of the colleges do have it, but they have in collaboration with the university. Means it is common for medical, dental, Ayurveda, etc. But when we consider, any of the institution taking forward this particular, minimum standards, and establishing a skill lab exclusively for Ayurveda. So this particular step, many of the institution has to take forward, so that because we are in a place where Ayurveda is coming to the mainstream in the clinical practice, patient care, and even in the contribution of health. So that particular point, this is very much essential. So these are certain of the norms which are being told. Intake capacity, student wise, what is the area that is being mentioned? Everything it is mentioned as per the MSc. You can refer to that particular. It is available in the HCSM website. Nothing much to go on to this particular facility, but this particular things, this particular image I have generated using AI. So where you have the entrance where you are keeping a shoe rack, you can see in that particular image, and then you have a reception section, and behind you have a complete display of how best the skill lab is being utilized for different purposes, and the record monitoring is going on in the reception counter. And then you have different stations, the hospital bed like setup, and you can see that the people are being trained over those particular areas. It's not that only you have simulators, only you have dummies there, and in that you will be doing some procedures like suturing, etc things. But along with that, you can see in the upper section where you have virtual reality and other areas where digital training. Even in our institution, we have an anatomy where the students are being trained with the 3D dissection. Not only dissection, many other procedures can be done with. I have the video of it. I will show you. So this particular point becomes very much essential. And even you can see in the ground floor that, down you have a separate area for storage also, where the mannequins, etc, which can be kept into the boxes. It can be done in this particular manner. And one more, this particular thing is very much clear, this particular image. So you can see the complete setup, how best it can be. And you can see that in each of the sections, you have a table. Where the teacher will sit and teach, and even the demonstration table is present where you can keep the simulators. From those storage boxes you can take, and you can show the demonstration of any procedures over there. So this is how the skill lab is to be designed. And it is not that we are considering all the the modern perspective. I have one video which I will show that how best we have to project our points considering the skill lab and the procedures that we do. So again, these are certain of the AI generated models of skill lab which can be effectively considered. But this is of the small setup. Again, it depends upon how much utilization and the strength of the institution, etc. But the basic points will be the the outside care for the the changing shoes, slippers, etc. And then the reception counter for record keeping. Then the demonstration room and the storage area. There should be centralized AC, and now and then the mannequins etc should be cleaned. That is very much important. Daily you have to store back into the boxes, but after that once in a month or twice in a month you should clean it. There will be separate liquid that will be available. The companies do provide it. The simulators, either it will be US based or China based simulators are present. So depending upon the institution management, they can go forward with it, and they will train you that they will give the specialized liquids etc to clean those mannequins and handle those mannequins. And even servicing also, some of the things will be digital etc. So servicing in the once in 6 months etc is also very much essential. So considering these particular aspects, we'll be considering with regards to the skill lab. Now let us go for one more most important section. Our institution is having this particular anatomy, that this particular is more than 1.5 crore, this particular 3D dissection table. And this particular table, you can dissect n number of times. This is with regards to dissection. That is okay. In any direction you can do, however you want you can do. You can see the names of the structures, you can see histology, you can see CT scan, you can see MRI, you can feed the cases inside this also. Any cases, it may be of gridresi or CT, MRI, whatever reports are there, you can push into the software, and then it will generate answers and you can teach it. Okay, so such kind of wonderful dissection table this particular anatomy is. So let us see through a small video of this particular anatomy, because once you know that what and all things it covers, so all those points will be skill wise, it will be imparted in our students. And this knowledge, whatever the skill they have, that they can you use effectively utilize when they take care of the patient. That is very much important, because finally whatever we teach etc, we say we are teaching curriculum in the Ayurveda. So considering that particular aspect, dhatu samya kriya cha prokta. So at the end of the day, whatever we teach, we should have only one intention, that should maintain dhatu samya. It may be of the healthy individuals, or else to treat the patient and make him healthy. So considering these aspects, let us move forward. Just I will give one particular setting to this particular aspects, and then we'll go forward with this. Is the audio audible?
Not audible, sir. Audio is not audible, sir.
1 minute.
Not audible, sir.
You can have a classical dissection. So here we can see that around 1,800 cases, this particular, this one will be having. And in this also, you can see the gunshot wound case. So even in the, the bullet was lodged inside the skull, and that can be seen in this particular, cases. So that is very, very important. All this kind of, cases can be studied, and even it can be, some cases can be put inside this particular software, and it can be studied in a very well manner. And even with regards to, Shalakya, where how best we can, put the lenses, power, etc., can be, what is the best method to, we use lens chart, etc., and see the power of the lenses, etc. That also can be, studied using this particular anatomy. Whether it is concave lens, cylindrical lens, convex lens, all these particular points can be studied well. Okay, and even for the students, curriculum wise, MCQs can be taught, and layer wise you can dissect. We'll come to know that layer wise what are the things. If we give option layer wise, one by one layer it will go, and even you can anoint those particular parts also and can study. It's not that you have to always study modern. You can even study Ayurveda also, Sira, Dhamani, Mamsa, Peshi, etc. And even see the cardiac physiology. It is showing ECG also parallelly. So if there is, if you can feed arrhythmias, you can feed fibrillations, everything you can see, and you can see the respective waves also. So this particular is, a wonderful feature of this particular table. And fetal dissection. Even the pregnant lady, inside the pregnant lady, the fetus also can be dissected, and we can study with regards to the anatomy of the fetus also. So that anatomy and physiology of the fetus also. So this is again one more most important feature of this particular dissection table in this particular regard. So this is how we can best utilize this particular section of the skill lab. Uh, So this is anatomy. We can see the virtual reality dissections. So this will be much more benefited. The students can, because whenever we consider the physical body, etc., then dissecting, getting the bodies, etc., becomes an issue. But here we can do n number of times dissections can be made, and it can be even anointed. According to that, it can be, and even further, I strongly suggested, and that we can come up with Ayurveda anatomy also, where we have all the cases with regards to the Ayurveda is being there, and even anointing structures, everything with regards to the Ayurveda. This is a US based particular instrument that can be considered over here. Okay, so this is one more development as scope we have to develop Ayurveda anatomy dissection table. So let's move on to the next part of this particular skill lab, that is media department. So how this particular media department, we have to set this particular media department. This is very, very important, because see, whenever we talk about Ayurveda, mainstreaming of Ayurveda, etc., then nowadays the social media comes primary. So whatever we are doing, whatever the concept is there, we have to reach to the people. And it is not that we are advertising for some benefits. It's not like that. We are telling that all of you take care of your health, so that that particular thing, swasthasya swasthya rakshanam, so that particular point can be reached very well. And even what facilities, what patient care we provide, that also can be reached to the public. And even nowadays you can see, it may be yoga day or else Ayurveda day, etc., the NCSM or Ayush Ministry gives a number of toolkits to put it in social media. Common toolkits will be there, where institution can put their logo and put it in social medias. So again, here we can see how best we can see with the starting of the media department. So at the entrance we have to keep it that particular thing, entrance to be black, because inside it should not hamper any of the recordings or any such things. So the black sheet we have put, and even we can put do not disturb. Do not disturb logo also can be put outside. That particular part we have to take care. And you can see that at the entrance itself we have that particular the place where to get ready, touch up, etc., because the presentation of that particular individual who is speaking, that is also very, very important. So that particular aspect is being taken care in the institution. After that, the next point will be this particular documentation purpose. So what and all works we have done, what and all things are there, for that we have to maintain a proper register, so that the documentation becomes very much proper. After that, this particular setup of green screen is very, very important. You can see that behind me there is a green screen. So that is a chroma key. Usually green screen is being used, and that particular focus lights, etc., two focus lights which are directed above, not directly on the person who is sitting, but it should be directly towards the above section, so that the light reflects and there will be no shadow. And even the person who is sitting also should be away from the green screen, not near to the green screen, to avoid the shadows. And even the green screen, you can see there there should be minimum or zero wrinkles, so that it is tightly tied. So that particular aspect, and totally all the windows are being covered, so that there is no external light, only internal. And moreover, one more thing is, even with regards to the soundproofing also can be effectively done in this particular case of this one. So this is how we have done the setup of the media department in our institution. So we have kept the gap between the person who speaks and the green screen, and the green screen is very tightly tied and avoid shadows, and even minimum distance we have kept between the person who is speaking and the focus light. And we have kept even the editing section also in this part. Prompting is there in front, where if a person is not able to speak properly, fluently, then we have kept that particular point in front, where a person can speak by seeing the prompting. And then later part, we can see that the editing section, the software editing section is also being kept over here. So that particular part also to be taken care of. So this is one part of the establishment of the skill lab. So now next we'll see in what and all way benefits can be taken. So considering this particular aspects, Number one will be the conceptual dimension. Which and all concepts we can consider for the development of the skill lab, and how best the students can be benefited out of it. Okay. So this particular thing, I just want to show you that, we have considered, the electrical circuits with only lights. Means whatever the concepts that are told in Ayurveda, okay, especially with regards to the physiology, it is being depicted in a case of a model. And that particular model, it shows that whenever you are clicking any switch, it will totally show, for example, Vajasthana. Then in that particular model, you will get all the points which are being mentioned with regards to Vajasthana. That particular, lights of the Vatasthana will be coming. No, it will be blowing. It will be glowing. So as a result of which, it will be showing it properly that these are the places where Vatasthana is present. And even the small aspects, what is Vata, what is Pitta, what is Kapha, and what is the relation between the doshas and Mahabhutas. All these things can be learned very much effectively using this particular tool, because usually many of the students will be visiting our institution, young minds, so that, if we are able to appealing look presentation wise, जो बोलते हैं ना, जो दिखता है वही बिकता है. So if we are doing such models, which is a little bit, working models, kriyatmaka models, then we can reach those young minds, and the students who are choosing Ayurveda, they will not come by chance. They will choose Ayurveda and come. So they will understand the, what is the background, what is the medical background, etc. of Ayurveda, and then they will be coming. So just go through the video. There is no need of audio as such. You just see how it is being developed. So this is how we have done setup with the blended, because see, all these things, it comes with blended. We can say that, it's not only that we should have that particular old thinking. We should get updated. We should see that, we take technology, we take digital things, we take the help of veterinary science, etc., and blend it together so that we can reach to the mainstream. So help from the engineering field, help from technology field, help from mechanical field, all these things are very, very important for us for growing. And overall, all these things, it may be very small. Even if you can see, this is thought in Kriya. All the points, if you see, it is in thought in Kriya, but all these things will be effectively helping. If there is any expo or anything like that, if you can see, even in Ayurveda day, it is mandatory that expo is needed, awareness is needed. So all these models, today it is there in the hospital now, where we are taking these models to make aware of the people that what is Tridosha, what is Prakriti. All these things are being taught to the health seekers or common public. So this also will help in the patient care or preventive aspects as such. Now, next about the observational dimension. This is also this particular point is very much important. See, now we say that about the concept of Ayurveda. We consider or we train our students that leave Ayurveda. Follow Ayurveda and leave Ayurveda. This particular concept means wherever you go, you have to see the concept in terms of Ayurveda. So considering this aspect, our student had prepared this particular model. I think many of you are well aware of that, explosion box. Usually in the birthdays, etc., these things will be provided, where it will be showing all the photos, etc. So this particular idea, I thought that it will be very much best to reach the young minds when they come forward. They visit our institutions or we visit their institutions. At that time, we can show them, because the curious minds, the way it unfolds, the way it folds, all these things, it's very, very important, and it makes them more curious to know these particular aspects. So our students has developed this particular explosion box where all the Vata, Samanya Vishesh Siddhanta, Lokapurusha Samya Siddhanta, etc. So that they will understand, okay, this is the logic. Whatever is told in Ayurveda, it is so scientific. It's not that it is only telling about the concepts, etc. But applicability portion is also there. How we take the formulas and apply in the mathematical problems, mathematical formula in the mathematical problem, physics physics formula in the physics problems. Like that only, Ayurveda has told its own formulas. That is in terms of shlokas, it may be Chikitsa Sutras, it may be, or else Siddhantas, it may be, and that has to be effectively put over the patient or the healthy individuals to maintain the health or to treat the disease. So this particular aspect is very, very important. So this particular explosion box, we have developed in the institution. Now, considering this aspect, I felt that, the image, because whenever you read any books in the Kriya or any books in the Samhita or Ayurveda, there is lack of the images in Ayurveda. And I felt that majority of the students who are coming, definitely among 80% or 70% of the students, they are, intelligent, of higher IQ. They will go to library and they will read it. Read the Samhita, read the other books, everything they will mug up or whatsoever, because academic is also important. But along with that, there are 30% of the students who are struggling with understanding the concept also. So for those students, I felt that, the visual memory, the image for imagination, considering this aspect, a book is being developed, which is having only and only images. And it's handy book, even in the pocket you can take. Okay, and I will just just want to play the video here. The voice is not so important in this particular case. I will just show you. You can see here that, it is having all the images. You have, see, Vata Vriddhi Lakshanas. Okay, image is there, Sanskrit term is there, and its translation. It's, I can say that not the translation as such, but its clinical explanation is there. Because these two are two different things. If you are translating, it will not help for the purpose. Okay, so you should actually see the clinical meaning of those particular words, clinical dimension of those particular words, and that particular purpose is being served. So like this, all Ayurveda concepts of Kriya Sharira, it is being highlighted in this particular book. And astonishingly, this particular book, it is having only 104 to 105 pages. That's it. And it's so handy, you can keep it in your pocket. And it covers all the concepts of Kriya. So like this, we can come forward with, the images, etc. with regards to each of the subjects. That is very much important according to me. So considering these particular aspects, there is a need of development so that we can take care of our, health seekers or the patient in a very effective manner. Because if a student's foundation, the concept wise, they are strong, that definitely they can give more, more service to the patient. So once the concept is strong, then definitely it may be in a diagnosis, it may be in examination, it may be in approach, in each and every dimensions, there will be more confidence. So that confidence has to be developed. For that, all these dimensions are very much important. And this dimension is being developed from the skill lab itself. And it is being trained in our institutions. We have a section of mandala art. We have a mandala art club. We say meditate with mandala. So mandala art, it was started during the COVID time. It was a peak where a same pattern is being drawn again and again. It is like a meditation. How you do meditation, om, etc. You say repeatedly. In the same manner, you are putting utmost concentration and you are drawing the same patterns again and again. So this was very much effective. A research work is also done, and it was found to be very much effective in attention deficit hypersensitivity disorder, ADHD. So even we have published a book also with regards to the training of mandala art through the skill lab. So this kind of activities, this kind of teaching, learning, and taking it forward to the patient care, such activities we have to keep it forward, so that, and we have to make them realize that जो भी इधर सीख रहे हो, whatever you are doing here, it's not that it is just theoretical place, etc. You have to make this particular, the patients aware or everything aware of. And even for example, this Sachitra, in my OPD, what I do is, with regards to Tamaka Shwasa, because I take care of respiratory and fever. So I have made some protocols for Tamaka Shwasa. I have made some protocols for Jara according to the types, and I have made a lifestyle for that particular patient. And I will be sharing them the images also, how the posters are there here in this book, like that posters are being designed, and that poster will be given to the patient through WhatsApp, so that patient will be well aware of the things that what he should do, or mainly what he should not do. So this will help that particular ideas, because students should realize that, or the younger generations, or even the teachers, when they realize that, this particular ideas, whatever the things are there, yogyas are there, skills are there, if it is effectively taken forward from the academia to the hospital, that is to the clinicals, that definitely it will effectively help in more of the patient care. And even with regards to the Agni practicals also, we give them the hands-on training. Means we say, that Manda Agni, it takes more time to cook. Sama Agni will take minimum irregular time, whereas Tikshna Agni, it will be taking, very easily, it will cook. So we make them realize by giving this particular example. We will tell them to cook, literally we will tell them to cook there and see that how best, for example, if you are cooking any of the rice or something, if you are keeping it in medium flame, then how much time it took. If you are keeping it in low flame, how much time it took. If you are keeping in very high flame, how much time it took. So in the same manner, in the body, digestion, loka purusha, so that particular similarity. And if you have such videos with you, you can even make the patient aware of. At OPD level, it's very difficult, but in the IPD level, we can show this particular thing to the patient and we can make them realize, अरे देखो भाई ऐसा होता है, body में भी ऐसा ही होता है. It will take much time to digest. So this is your status. So hence you have to have such kind of food items for some days. Once from the low flame you come to the medium flame, then you can go on with little bit heavier diet. So like this, you have to you make the patient realize, because that particular imagination, whenever you say Samagni or Mandagni, all those things, students also, patient also, they will be nowhere. So when you show them the instances, when you show them the visuals, then they will be more accepting. So this particular aspects is very much handy and such things. So because the visuals, nowadays we should give more importance to, and it's very much appealing also. So that particular idea, that particular blending with the technology, we can utilize for patient safety wise, because it may be with during the stehapana or during the virechana or later samsarjana krama, etc. What will be their status of agni, how they have to go with increasing that particular kramataha, all those food yava guyusha, etc., things which are being mentioned. So all those things can be effectively told when we use the visuals. Otherwise, it's not possible. So all these trainings are done through the skill lab sections itself. These areas we have to take care. It's not that modern science totally takes simulators into consideration when we take skill lab. Skill lab means simulators, and we are being trained in that manner. But here we have totally different. Our principles are totally different. Our principles, swasthasya swastha rakshanam, aturasya vikara prashamanam, dhatu samya, everything is being told. So in this particular situation, we can't confine ourselves to only this much. What is told in the gadget, it is minimum standards. But definitely there are different areas where we can, explore this, and Yogya Vidhi can be, understood in a very, multi-dimensional way. Okay. And even with regards to reading different, because we confine ourselves to only to the syllabus. We don't give this particular areas to our students to read the books, explore the different types of books, and take the concepts and impart over the patient. So, when we are taking care of the skill lab, you can see that even in the images, there were some books which were being kept. This is not mentioned in the MSc, but books are the parts of the skill lab. So even you can effectively use different types of books to have a, that particular skill oriented knowledge, and then only demonstration can be done, or they themselves can understand. Now, for example, Nadi Pariksha. Nadi Pariksha, you have that particular simulator, you have Nadi Tarangini, or you have that particular subject also, okay, your colleague or somebody. So you have understood that, this much 7 layers, 7 types of pressures to be given to the Nadi, all those things you are understanding. And this you are reading there in the skill lab. And then you are a trainee, getting trained over the simulators, and then seeing over the subjects, and then under the peer teachers, etc., assistants, you are doing it over the patient, and finally independently you are doing. So this kind of stepwise step ladder pattern approach is utmost necessary, so that standardized protocol as per the topic, etc., should be done by the experts in that particular field. So in our institution, we follow this particular aspects, where firstly theoretically they will be trained. After that, they will be taken to the skill lab, and on the simulators they will be trained. After that, under the guidance of the teachers and postgraduates, on the patient they will be doing it, and finally later they will be independently doing and taking care of the patients. So such things are very much important. And even shloka presentations. We have a particular thing in the this one, where in the digital library it is told that even Sanskrit lab is also very much important. So Pancha Avayava Vakya. So considering these particular aspects and its clinical and scientific applicability of the shlokas, because see how effectively we have learned without questioning. We have learned algebra formulas, trigonometry formulas, we accepted those formulas, etc., and we didn't question also, but we are questioning why we have to study shloka. This is the main important issue. So we are studying the mathematical formulas, and we are putting the formulas over the mathematical problem, and we are getting the desired result. That is the answer to that mathematical problem, and we are accepting it. That formula is right by. जो formula बताया गया है वो सही है. This is what is happening, because it happens within 1 day or 2 days. First day, teacher will give formula, you will by heart on the same day. Next day, mathematical problem will be given to you, and you will be solving that particular mathematical problem. You got the desired result and you accepted. Arey bhai, ye formula to sahi hai. But it doesn't happen in Ayurveda all the time. So first formula will be given, that is Siddhantas it may be, Chikitsa Sutras it may be. It will be given, you have to by heart it or you have to understand it, and you have to keep it with you. And you have to apply at the right time when the problem comes. The problem is nothing but the patient. And on the right patient. That's what in the first I told, that algebra formula should be put in algebra problem, not in trigonometry problem. So in the same manner, depending upon the yukti, you should put the right particular Chikitsa Siddhantas over that particular patient, and you will get the desired result. And desired result is nothing but the patient will be cured from the problem. That is what the desired result is. But it requires patience. So this we have to make our students realize for the effective patient care. That is, this dimension is also very much important. So like this, we have to compile the shlokas and its utility has a formula and effective utilization over the patient. It may be case studies, etc., etc. Along with the shlokas, we can merge it, and we have to have a compilation library in the skill lab. This is also very much essential. And next, clinical dimension. Here we see, here what we do is, the main problem is we are not projecting our science. Now, for example, it may be X-ray, it may be MRI, etc. This is the contribution from physics. But the modern medicine has taken this particular knowledge, and they have come up with the newer branches like radiology, etc. In the same manner, whatever the simulators, whatever the procedures are there, which are being, which that simulator is effective of to get trained. So those simulators to be used, but the terms that we use, the dimension that we show, it should be of Ayurveda. This is what I feel that majority of the times we are failing. We say, okay, let us go and learn suturing. But we are telling that Yogya Vidhi is told in Sushruta. But while directing the students, we are telling, chalo suturing karte hai. Why don't you take Sivana Karma? Why don't you say, the procedures which is told, Vedana Karma? lekana karma. So like this kind of approach, we are telling CPR karenge bhai, we'll just see basic life support, CPR karenge. Instead of that, why don't we say that we are doing, prana pratyagamana, which is being mentioned in Ayurveda. So like this kind of Ayurvedic touch clinical approach is very much essential. So considering this aspects, we have some mannequins in our skill lab. So considering that I had made compiled a video, I will just show you. There is no need of any audio as such, but the video along with the description below, it will clearly give the meaning with regards to that particular aspect. You can see this is usually told that chalo by catheterization karta. But here we are training our students that we are effectively using Nadi Yantra. We are doing Mutra Visramana Karma. And we are showing the SOP of that. And next here, IV cannula dalte hain, series dalte hain. Like this, no, it's not like that. Here we are orienting them. Ha, chalo, Vrihi Mukha Shastra ka upyog. Utility of Vrihi Mukha Shastra. Let us learn that. Okay. It may be IV, it may be IM. Okay, in this particular manner, we are training them so that they can take care of the patients much more effectively. So this is the another dimension of it. See, this is what I told you, CPR. It gives green light in that it shows that it is CPR is done properly. So prana pratyagamana, we are doing not CPR definitely, but Ayurvedic touch we should give. So prana pratyagamana is being done. Okay, it may be mouth to mouth breathing, it may be CPR or whatever. And we have simulators for bandaging techniques. So we have a number of bandaging techniques which are told by Sushruta. So why we are not telling that we are teaching, we are learning Vrida Bandhana? The basic problem is whenever we use sophisticated terms which are being mentioned in the modern science, sophisticated diagnosis in the modern science, we feel that we are big people. But it's not like that. What is told in if we are what we have learned, that is Ayurveda, if we are able to explain or do and train in terms of Ayurveda, then we are big people. That we should feel and follow. This is very much important. So here we are not suturing actually. Okay. So here definitely, but here we have to train our students that we are doing the Sivana Karma. So this particular dimension, because even nowadays we get Ayurvedic nursing certified courses are there, Ayurvedic paramedical, Ayurvedic pharmaceuticals, like that courses are different institutions are coming out. So like this, when it is coming in the mainstream, then why not? So all these procedures, we should have that particular thought that we should come up with the Ayurveda. And the next point will be once more that particular image which I give most importance with, that we train the students that whenever you are doing some inspection, whenever doing some auscultation, or whenever you are handling some instrument, okay, then you have to handle in a perfect manner. Whether you are doing it right or wrong, use the technology, take the photo, okay, and use that image and show it to the peers, okay, teachers, and get it confirmed that whether you are doing right or wrong. Teachers told that that pulse has to be done like this, per abdomen has to be done like this, etc., etc. Then the student has to go and do it over the patient or friends, take the photo or video, and then show it to the teachers that whether they are doing it right or wrong. Use the technology for the right purpose so that in future the patient care can be taken properly. It may be in their own clinics or in the institution when they become interns or postgraduate scholars. So this kind of we have done the compilation, teaching learning methods, everything, all the procedures, how effectively they are doing, what they are. No, it is not only about clinical these things, but different aspects. Okay, images are being taken, and it is being giving highlight of a physiological as well as clinical touch of different procedures and the concepts which are being told, so that they will realize the importance of those points. And this is what being teachers we have to do. students may be, sometimes they themselves may initiate, but sometimes being teachers, we have to bring newer teaching learning methods, and adaptability should be there. अरे मैं ऐसा ही पढ़ाऊंगा, मेरा नेचर ऐसा ही है, I will take Samhita, I will go and I will translate or I will tell the meaning which is told by Chakrapani or Tikas, etc. That only is not sufficient. We have to go one step ahead of it and make a better understanding of our Ayurveda, but not deviating from the concept which is told by Acharyas. And the academic purpose also here, we give, whenever we are taking about the patient care, protocols, everything, the orientation towards the publications, research publications, that is very much important. So as a part of skill lab activity, skill oriented activity, because in the first year we take practicals, in that we take them to the skill lab, but in the final year we have a class scheduled for skill development itself. So in that particular 1 hour, all such activities will be considered. It is not that establishment of the skill lab, it is only with regards to one structure. It's not like that. It's overall part should be considered. So considering this particular aspect, different kind of analysis activities also, we can take, where, scientific publications, it's not having any audio. So scientific publications, we are giving them, they are reading. You can see that they are utilizing the digital tools, and they are going and they are discussing themselves. We have made them the group, and they are going through the publications, and they are judging the publications. That, जो textbook में है वही article बनाया है क्या, copy paste करके, या उसमें कुछ नया है, and how best protocol can be. So, and even you should allow to discuss among themselves. It's not that only you will go monotonous, one-sided talk is not going to help. So that particular discussion among themselves, and you being the mediator, handling those situations, such dimensions will help you, very much important. So here you can see on the screen that Acharyat Padamadate, we have the role of only 1/4. 1/4 knowledge only should be given by us, and 1/4 Swamedhaya, and so Brahmachari Bihapadam, 1/4 by the friends, discussions, and 1/4 Kalakramenacha, experience, time will teach. So this part we have to make them realize, and it is a continuous process. That also we should, make our students realize, and finally this particular aspect only will help in patient care. Yesterday also one patient came to us. The patient was around 65-year-old, and the patient had breathing difficulty, and he was telling that he is having hypertension also. He's taking hypertensive tablets, etc. So he told that, sir, मुझे admit होना ही होना है. तो मैंने बोला ठीक है, देखते हैं, and has a protocol in my OPD, whenever the patient get admitted, we do all the routine investigations first. ऐसा नहीं कि आपने हवा में गोली मार दी भाई. We have to first see that what is the condition. ठीक है, हमने दर्शन स्पर्शन प्रश्न से परीक्षा पूरा, we dealt with the patient, we saw the patient, everything is fine, okay, but we understood that it is stomach shwasa, and he is having hypertension also, everything okay, fine. But what the bed report says, what the ECG says, what the X-ray says, that also is very much, when we have the tool, we have to effectively utilize it. So by evening, my PG sent me, sir, आप एक बार ECG देख लेना भाई. So I saw that, okay, it is it showed abnormal ECG with ST elevation, which is a alarming condition. So in this scenario, if I go for tamakasvase, tamake to virechanam, I will take virechana, etc., then patient may collapse any time. So this is not possible. So immediately I educated the patient and patient party, and I told them that this is a scenario. You have to go to the cardiologist. You have to take support from the cardiologist, and you have to continue the cardiologist. Whatever the medicines he tells, you have to continue, and you have to take consent from him. Once he says that he is medically fit to take so many Vegas, Virechana, etc. Okay, and you can even make the cardiologist to talk to me, and then I will go forward with the treatment after consent. So these are the steps which we have to consider. So it's not that आपने दर्शन स्पर्शन प्रश्न पढ़ाया, skill lab में पढ़ाया, खत्म कर दिया. It's not like that. So even this dimensions also. So all these case studies, all these scientific studies, publications, everything you have to teach to the students, and make them realize, make them skillful, so that they can do the better patient care. Patient care is a final criteria. So for that, the knowledge, skill is very, very important. For that, all these things are being done. These are all the different dimensions which are blooming from the skill lab. That's very, very important. And nowadays, this particular thing, entertainment is very important. Now because acceptability comes when we go with the trend. So we have given them different NLH activities to understand what Ayurveda is, how best they can show what is mentioned in the Ayurveda, everything through the reels, through the shorts, video, etc. Okay, so here possibly it is told that Vata Prakriti person does Akashachari Swapneshu. He is flying in the Akasha or something like that, it is being told. And a Pitta Prakriti person will be Jyotisham Drishtva, you will be seeing the fire. And Kapha Prakriti person Jalashaya. I have never seen three of any of those dreams. So to which Prakriti I belong? So it becomes more theoretical when you do the translation, right? So here, the dreams, the physiology of the dreams, the area is the least touched part. So it is not Akashachari Swapneshu. It doesn't mean that an individual is flying. Usually individual will not fly. So what impact it will have? That the person who is walking, who can't fly, is flying. Means either it is exclamation or a question mark. This is the impact of the dream. Such dreams are Vatika. And dream which causes irritation or confusion in the mind is Vatika dreams. The fire which increases the metabolic activity, adventure, horror, such kind of dreams is Paitika. And Jalashaya, whenever you see Jad, you cool, calm, happy dreams. It depends upon the individual, which makes that individual happy. So such kind of dreams are considered. So that are to be Kafaja related dreams. So this is how we have to consider which with regards to this particular aspect. And this also we have to put on to the patient care. Otherwise, it's not possible. We are not exploring the Manasika Bhava because we are treating Jwara. Okay. But what we are defining Jwara as Santapo Deha Manasa. We are telling the tap of Deha and Manas. But we are treating only with Amrita Rishta, Sudarshana Khada or all those things. But we are not treating Manas. This is again our lacuna of understanding the science. Even we have to make an effort to understand the psychological dimension also and even treat it also. And nowadays, even modern science says that majority of the points, majority of the diseases, they are psychosomatic in nature. So that particular dimension has to be understood very well. And research also, I strongly suggest that through the skill lab, we have done this particular work. We have come out with, music therapy. We have a separate unit in the skill lab for, innovation and incubation center, where different products which are being done by the students we are keeping. And we are coming with different therapeutics, alternate therapeutics. It may be at undergraduation level or it may be at post-graduation level. You can see on the left of the screen, now she finished internship just now. She has submitted an research work on music therapy. There is Neelambari Raga which is being mentioned, and it is very much effective in insomnia. And all these things was possible when the proper training was done in the skill lab and proper discussion was occurring in the skill lab. I am telling you the multiple utility. It is not that you have this all things. Finally, everything is skill. Everything is. It's not like that. As per the experiences, as per the information that is being shared, and even by the students, teachers, and I have gone through. So these are the outcomes of effective utilization of the skill lab, and moreover, even the publications also. Even students have published books, as I told you, with ISBN number, etc., because they are trained in that dimension. Training happens in the skill lab. The skill lab is for developing the skill or training. It is in all dimension. So that particular aspect, and one more you can see Hridaya Mudra for hypertension. You can see one mudra which is being kept, and that is very much effective in controlling blood pressure. There is a very less need of taking any tablets or etc. No side effects. Then definitely we can go forward with such treatments. And even for the post graduation. Here we have seen that our skill lab was inaugurated by Rajesh Koteja sir, the secretary, and he told one particular word after seeing the skill lab, our skill lab, that it is Nalanda University of Ayurveda. Means it is having that much dimensions we had kept. He was speaking there in the Agada section. After that, he went towards the Dravyaguna section. And finally, Agada people told, sir, ye dekhiye aapka fingerprint hai. He was shocked because that training, that how to take that particular fingerprint, etc. Forensic medicine, Agada people, they were trained off, and he was very much impressed. And then he told that, अरे यार ये जैसा प्रकृति भी यूनिक है वैसा फिंगरप्रिंट भी यूनिक है ना. So like that, we came up with the correlation study between Sharirika Prakriti and dactylography. So even the dissertation is submitted also. So this kind of activities or research work, etc., are the outcomes of the effective utilization of the skill lab. So there are many such dimensions of the skill lab. It is not only about establishment of some structure, but the dimensions that we use and totally expand that particular dimension of utilization. That particular point is very much important. And many of the mannequins and dummies, they have our students themselves have made it. That is again I can proudly say. Some of the things videos I just want to share with you. That the videos of the instruments which are being designed by our students, which will help in treating or giving very much effective treatment. Just I want to show one video with regards to just a minute, let me confirm. This is with the Prasuti Tantra, this one. See, this particular instrument is being designed. Yoni Dhupana, you will be well aware of. So you can see in this particular instrument is being designed. Whatever the PG, that particular PG is holding, it is to keep that particular dhupa. And then the closed section is a motor, the suction area. So the dhupa will be taken through the suction, through the motor. Okay, it is battery driven. And you have a replaceable. Each patient, we can use this particular, tube, replaceable one. Okay. And it can be kept inside the yoni so that it will be more effective. Because otherwise, Varti is kept usually outside. But in this case, you can insert properly so that it will reach to the deeper areas. You can see the dhupa that is being coming out. So that yoni dhupana, yantra, it is also designed by our students, and it is in the having the patient, patency. It is in the step of that. And Basti Nirmana yantra, you can see that Basti Nirmana, Basti Dravya. But what thing is usually we do mixie, grinder, everything we use. But here the authentic khalwa itself is being used, and the motor driven khalwa and khaja, it is being used so that authenticity, that originality will be there. Okay. And it is motor driven also, and it can be through the electricity also. And Basti Dravya can be effectively prepared using this particular yantra. So, and even the simulators, which is there for giving the basti. Okay, if it is properly inserted, then through this other side, it will be coming out through that particular dummy. Okay, simulate. So this is how even for Ayurveda, different instruments, etc., can be utilized in this particular scenario. So this is how we have to consider with the effective utilization of the skill lab. Not only establishment, but more utilization and expanding the utility of the skill lab. So this was the last slide. So in short, briefing up, as per MSc, we have certain norms. Administration or the management will have certain norms to establish the skill lab. It is a one room where simulators, etc., is being told. That is minimum standards. But yogya, the skill, it is beyond that. We have to expand. It may be in the conceptual way. It may be observation. Who is the coordinator? On the observation of that particular coordinator, it depends. And how far you can take that observation to the clinical aspects, from the academic to the clinicals, research to the clinicals. So that the 3 points, that is Swastasya Swasthya Rakshanam, Aturasya Vikara Prashamanam, and Dhatu Samya will be reached. So this is the effective utilization of the skill lab which can be considered. So by this, I end my presentation. Thank you so much once again for the organizers for giving me an opportunity. And in one or two videos, there was some glitches with regards to audio. Really sorry for it, but there was no need of those audios, but still there were some glitches. Thank you once again. Any doubts, please?
Thank you so much, sir, for such an insightful and inspiring session.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
If anyone have any query, you can ask in question answer tab. Now I would like to invite Dr. Bhavin Dubal, sir, for vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Good afternoon, esteemed guest speakers and dear participants. As we conclude this national webinar on World Patient Safety Day, I would like to take a moment to express our heartfelt gratitude to each and every one of you who contributed to its success. I would like to thank to our esteemed guest speakers of this national webinar, Dr. Aniket Silvan sir and Dr. Nagaraj Kamath sir, for sharing your valuable insights and expertise with us today. Your presentations have undoubtedly enriched our understanding of contribution of Ayurveda in principles of bioethics and utilization of skill lab to improve patient safety in clinical practice and teaching as well. I would like to say thank to the management of RK University, as we are grateful to your unwavering support and encouragement. Your vision and leadership have been instrumental in making this webinar a reality. I would also like to thank our Principal Sir of RK University Ayurveda College and Hospital Rajkot, Dr. Manoj Pandey Sir, for valuable guidance and leadership. Your presence has added immense value to this webinar. I would also like to thank to the IT and technical support team at RK University. Your technical expertise has ensured a seamless experience for our participants. I would like to thank to Dr. Niketa Soni, Assistant Professor, Department of Kriya Sharir, RK University Ayurveda College and Hospital, for coordinating this webinar successfully. And last but not least, I would like to thank to our distinguished participants. Thank you for your active participation and engagement. As we conclude this webinar, we are confident that the knowledge shared today will inspire us to work towards a safer healthcare system. Thank you all once again for your coordination. Thank you so much.